It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All righty, welcome back. A little seat dancing for the next 3 hours. We hope that you will hang out, jump in the raft, Lazy Rivers style, Rothman and Ice. Adam King in for the Iceman today. How are we feeling?
Where's the open? You're in this
Friday.
Oh, you don't do it on Fridays?
So when
it's Thursday.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, wow. You figured that out.
Good job.
We don't serve that on Thursdays.
Oh.
It's a special that we serve on Friday. My dad, when we go to restaurants, back when I was a kid, not like fine dining, but like in the middle. And he would always say, if the server came over and, said, "What would you like?" My dad would always say, "Well, what are the specials?" And you'd either get a, "Let me go find out," or "We don't have any," or they're listed on this little leaflet. So you asked what the specials are today.
Yeah.
We don't have.
We have Gold Jacket Thursday.
Gold Jacket Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that, I will say, I'm not a big specials guy. Like, I always feel bad when they walk up to your table and they're like, "Our specials today are, our
push the scampi."
Yeah, push this. And I'm
gonna get bad.
And I'm
soon.
sitting there and I'm like, okay, now you've got to read this. I'm not listening.
Yeah.
I've already decided what I want, but you keep talking about your shrimp gnocchi that you really want to get out from the back room that's been there for 4 days.
Or what if it's just that the chef really, this is a signature move, and on Thursdays, they have this, and he put a lot of time into it.
You go down to Cap City. They've got, every day has a special, and it repeats every week.
You mean like every Tuesday they have this?
Every Tuesday's pot pie day.
But you could always get meatloaf any day.
You could, exactly,
Okay.
and that's what you want. But the problem is you go in there, and it's always not the special you want on that day. You're like, "Oh, you know what sounds good? Pot pie. Too bad it's only on Tuesdays."
Well, but you already knew it was Tuesday, so go on Tuesdays.
I don't have a list on my phone.
Well, you said it's the same every week.
Well,
Commit it to memory. It's only a few days.
I can't be asked to do that. I've got too much. I have such a finite amount of space up there.
All right. Well, we'll play that into consideration today.
All right.
All right. You're right. It is a Gold Jacket Thursday. Will Shields, Nebraska kid, only played for the Kansas City Chiefs, drafted in the 3rd round, wound up playing for some incredible coaches, Schottenheimer, Dick Vermeil. Got close, didn't get all the way to the Super Bowl, but turned himself into a Hall of Fame guard and an Iron Man. Never missed a game. He never, by the way, I think he started every game except his first. There was an injury, he got in, and that was it. He never left. So he'll come on at 2:30 today. He's up in Canton this weekend. I have a question that I wanted to start the show with today.
I'm ready.
You don't know it.
I don't know it.
He doesn't know it.
No, I don't.
And by he, it's the man you just heard. And so
the intern.
It's an ethical question. And it's one of those that's non-sports related.
Okay.
And so you guys can both weigh in on this because I am feeling a little uneasy about whether this person needs to be identified or outed or all that. Sometimes we just move along, and it's nothing that affected my life. Yesterday, when I was leaving this fine establishment,
okay,
I back out and I exit through that other driveway, the one that would be going into the gated area.
Okay.
That driveway, that entrance, not the one where we all park here, but there's that other one that you can exit and enter out of as well.
Okay, yeah, like on the other side of the building.
Other side of the building, you can drive straight and see the gate.
Yeah.
So I go down what I would call pit road.
Okay.
And I feel like on pit road, you keep it under a certain mile an hour, and then you take that hairpin to the right and go up to the top there, waiting either to go left or right.
Gotcha.
I'm about to go left, and this car out of nowhere comes flying from my right, and it looks and cutting into our building, coming to work here. It's flying.
I'd ask that you not tell people how I drive.
And it's going to take off my left fender, no doubt. And to the point where I don't think now this person sees me. And I don't know how you can't. Honda Ridgeline, Germain Honda of Dublin.
There you go.
And I lay on the horn.
Ooh.
The person doesn't stop, nearly misses me, goes down, and I'm checking, are they going to the other building or coming to our building? Our building. TV side. And so this person nearly drove into me, cutting that turn way too close, coming into pit road way too hot.
Yeah.
Probably late for work.
Okay.
It was about 3:03.
Okay.
I like to, get out of here at a comfortable, get off the air at about 2:57. Those 6 minutes, decompress, and then we'll see.
Grab the bag and run.
That's right. Is it fair to try to identify this person
That's a good question.
and have this person answer for this moving violation that was clearly above, the line of, or do we just let it ride?
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I work in the other side of the building.
I stayed. Real fast, sorry. I stayed to see if I could identify. I know a lot of people over there still. A lot of people I worked with at Channel 6. Lines are blurred, buddy. Free agency.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to see if it was somebody I knew, okay, we'll have a little joke about it. I did not know this person. Went in the side door of the television. Didn't go back into the gated area. Took that left or something. Maybe
Parked right there and went through the gate and in?
Well, there's a door there.
Yeah.
Off that little courtyard or whatever.
Yeah.
Went in there like nothing. Not running, just simple park, move in.
Oof.
My gut is it's a producer or someone that works the desk. But it was 3:03. So the question is, are they late for a shift or something?
So this is interesting.
Or do we just let it ride and let it go?
Lot to dissect here. First things first, can we have a car? Can I have a description?
Well, that's interesting because if I give out the description, that means we're already making that move into identifying the person.
I think that it's okay to describe the car.
No. I'm not asking you to figure out who it is right now. I'm asking you, is it okay to even do it on air?
But here's the yes, only because you're not in the same side of the building. If you have to work with that person every day, then no. Then it's uncomfortable. You can't go. But
I think it's the reverse. I would think it's no one I know, so don't worry about it and move along. If it's somebody I knew, that'd be fun to kind of question them about it.
But the question is, how upset are you really?
I'm not crazy upset. Believe me, I'm not in the moment.
It sounds like you, if you could have it your way, would like to issue a ticket. You would like to walk over there with a police officer.
Warning.
You'd write a warning?
Absolutely. It's a warning.
They almost took out your fender, and that's a warning?
Though. It's a warning.
Okay. Well,
and I also want to find out, in a way, did you just not see me? But you still came in way too hot.
Well, so what we can do here...
No one would cut that turn that close if they knew there was a car there.
I think it's okay to identify. And I actually think about that as I'm getting close to work because, sometimes you're in a rush, you're driving, you want to get places. But when I start to get around the station, I'm like, okay, people are coming and going. Last thing I want is old Rick from upstairs to go, what in the world is Adam doing?
It wasn't Rick.
Okay. All right.
Cross him off the list.
All right. We're down to 400
people. It wasn't the general manager. If it was, I don't think I'd be bringing this up.
I don't think you should give him a warning. I'm going to be honest. I would not walk in there. Other than that, yes.
Is it fair?
Yeah. And I think it's better.
Identify publicly.
I think that it's better. I think we write a written warning. We figure it out. And I will write it and leave it on the desk. And it'll say, Anthony Rothman would like you to slow down children at play.
Drive like your kids live here.
Drive like your kids live here.
Or your animals are being walked here.
Exactly. This is like your home. Treat it like a home.
Are you going down the road if this person was late or they always drive this way?
The 3 o'clock number, I actually have a thought in my head about who.
Is that a weird start time?
No, that is the start time for the afternoon.
I think the afternoon is usually 2:30.
Yes,
or 2-ish.
But if you're late,
that's right.
Yes.
Well, if they're 2:30, then we can get them on the show at the end.
Let me ask you this.
And so he's thinking like a producer. Not only go ahead and talk about it, book this person as a guest to answer in the hot seat.
Let's put him. I like it. Was this car a Ford?
We're going to go the whole Q&A now.
No.
We should play this is?
Time out. The fact that he didn't immediately say no.
Yeah.
No. Don't read into that. Please, honestly, don't read into that part. Okay, so do we give him, like, what was that? There was an old show, like, you'd give him, like, a certain amount of questions,
20 questions?
You're not getting 20.
Wait, let's just, you know
I
what?
have a secret.
We've got a 3-hour radio show. Let's figure it out.
Let's let this marinate for a second. Maybe you'll get Twitter to weigh in. Maybe he gets the chat to weigh in. This isn't I know from a curiosity standpoint, people are probably thinking, well, I hope this is an on-air person. But that goes to, that's where
They will be an on-air person when we get them in here.
That's where I feel a little bit of compassion for this, where I may not do it. I'm in control of this.
Are you telling?
I'm more curious than I am trying to out the person.
I'm pretty sure that it was Cole.
Okay.
What if it was? If
it was Cole, I would have said it right out of the gate.
Cole,
Yes.
why do you speed? Drive slower.
Okay. It's not
Because
Cole.
Shedeur Sanders is my hero.
That's right.
Hey-o!
So, and this was not a planned lead into that story. I was going to talk about this even before I knew what was going on with Shedeur.
We call that a transition.
Yes.
Well done.
Some foreshadowing.
Segue, also a thing you can ride around very slowly that I don't understand very much. Mm-hmm. Why not walk?
So when we come back, is it a story only because of his name? Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores, so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 6-packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey, look, it's Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Say hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob.
You know what I love the most about your store?
What's that, common man?
The way you treat people. You get to know your customers. That's why they keep coming back. No sleazeballs around. Just good, clean boys and girls selling jewelry.
Stop in and see the difference for yourself.
Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington. WorthingtonJewelers.com. It's where Columbus gets engaged. Tell them Common Man sent you. Common Man here. Let me tell you something. I'm on these Germain inter-office emails. At Germain Lexus, during the month of June, they've challenged themselves to sell more cars than they ever have in 1 month. What does that mean? Well, I'm stupid, but to me, that means they're willing to deal, baby. And the memorial cars are on the lot. The ones the golfers drive for the tournament are now available to you. I've been a Germain customer for years, even before I started doing the commercials. If you're in the market, please stop in. Germain Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, GermainLexus.com.
Many drugs, like cocaine, methamphetamine, and non-prescription pills, are often cut with dangerous opioids like fentanyl. As a result, nearly 14 Ohioans die daily from unintentional overdoses. That's why it's important to carry naloxone, such as Narcan, a life-saving medication that blocks the effects of fentanyl and other opioids. Over the last 5 years, naloxone has saved over 83,000 lives. Help save lives and visit naloxone.ohio.gov to learn more and find free naloxone. Remember, if you see an overdose occurring, always call 911.
If only there was a radio show that constantly talked about Ohio State athletics. Well, good news. It's real, baby. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Does heel pain make you hobble just getting out of bed in the morning? If heel pain is affecting your ability to exercise and meet your walking or running goals, relief is as close as your local podiatrist. Podiatric physicians are highly trained doctors who specialize in medical and surgical treatment of the foot and ankle. Ohio Foot and Ankle podiatric physicians are available across the state and are devoted to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Got a teen athlete? Then you know putting in the hours is all part of the game. But did you know the same goes for learning how to drive? Because just like playing a sport, learning to drive takes practice. The only difference is the stakes are even higher. 50 hours of practice time driving with you? Worth every minute. Gear up at teachyourteentodrive.ohio.gov.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see scattered showers and thunderstorms again, mainly in the first half of the afternoon. And then as we go into the evening, we should see a lot drier conditions. Afternoon highs in the upper 70s with breezy winds. And then for tonight, it will be cooler, a lot more comfortable with lows in the 60s. And for Friday, we end the work week with plenty of sunshine and our highs getting in the mid to upper 80s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Always as tender as a well-done steak. This is Rothman and Ice.
This is a story simply because I'm not taking him off the hook, but it's a story because of who he is. His name is Sanders. Was he reckless driving? Possibly. I think the interesting
Possibly.
thing... I think it was I don't know. Was this a highway? Speed limit was 60? No, so it wouldn't have been.
60 miles per hour. He's going 101.
He's going 41 over.
Yeah, that's reckless driving. That's reckless.
Probably criminal speed. Yes, criminal. Yeah. Shedeur Sanders was busted. He was allegedly driving 101 it says on the highway. Not saying that's an excuse, but you're talking about a guy that ate a road burrito the other day.
Did you get anything on you?
Mostly on the floor. But, you have the foil and you have that, you can
Are we talking Chipotle?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, wow.
The big,
wow.
Yeah, big honker.
I think it's easier to eat Chipotle's bowl than it is.
No.
Yeah.
That takes two hands.
No. You're doing it wrong.
Takes two hands to handle a Whopper.
You're doing it wrong.
That was an old slogan.
I don't think I've ever eaten in my car without getting stuff everywhere. I mean, it's without fail. It is.
What's the amount of days if you get a new vehicle, a brand new car that you say, I'm not going to eat in this car, and then the over-under on that is about what?
So I got a new car a year ago, and
14 and a half days.
I said, no food in the car. Yeah, I think it was about 3 hours. I got hungry. Yeah, got a little hungry,
Listen, he got a ticket. What's weird about it is allegedly his girlfriend was either racing behind him or something, and she got clocked at like 92, and she was let off with a warning.
Clearly losing the race.
He got a ticket. And the reason I find this story interesting is because ever since he got drafted, he has done everything right.
I knew that's what you were going to say.
From a verbal, I'm just here to get my reps. I'm going to make the most of them. He had this chip on his shoulder. He wasn't coming off as arrogant or cocky or I'm winning the job or I'm Primetime's kid. Watch me go. And he's let everyone else do the talking for him. All the media. He looks great. He's going to have his shot. We all know that. He's really been a model citizen up there. Mm-hmm. And his dad set him up for weird public, targets with the retiring the jersey. Like, come on. Like Travis Hunter, and then he chalked it up to we changed the culture here and all that. Yeah. So he kind of set him up to be not liked based on the cockiness and the arrogance. He's done nothing but be almost perfect. This is just, so I started thinking, this isn't going to set him back. This is a nothing in the wind. The fact he was doing it in a pickup truck is scary because if he had to avoid anything.
I didn't know that, in a pickup truck?
Said he was that's what they called it. I haven't seen the vehicle.
That's crazy because you're weaving in and out. I don't know
if he was weaving. It was pretty late. It was early in the morning. There was probably no traffic, right? TLC, do you know what time he was popped for this?
I do.
I thought it was.
That was
I'm
well
seeing
done.
Stopped at 12:24 in the morning.
Yeah, there's people on the road at 12:24.
No,
Rothman.
but it's not rush hour.
Yes, it is. Okay, some of us, that's when I drive home. Okay, I leave this
Might
station.
be for the people at Channel 10.
Yes.
Who are late to work.
I leave this station and I drive home. And I always see these people racing around me on 270 and on 161. And I'm thinking, where are you going?
I'm not going to, listen, I'm not going to say this was good. This could have been very bad. He could have hurt himself. He could have hurt somebody else. There could have been a number of things that could have happened that were really bad.
You're the man out here that wants to catch the perpetrator of the fraud that happened in the parking lot the other day, and yet you refuse to acknowledge that 101 is not a great speed limit.
I'm acknowledging that. I'm also acknowledging that I have sped in my lifetime, and I'm sure you have, and so has he, and most people listening.
Don't you put that on me.
Okay.
No.
All right. So I think we should all get that out on the table that this happens. And if it happened at 12:30 in the morning, and if he was, hopefully everything was fine as far as no impairment at all, then he got what he deserved. He got a ticket. He'll have to show up for it, and maybe this will be a little bit of a wake-up call. I'm with you. It can be scary, especially if you avoid something in the middle of the road. And, you know.
You want a story? I got pulled over a couple months ago.
And there goes my tell the truth question.
Did you play the you know who I am card? Because remember, everything's body cam now. I don't think you want that out there.
That's exactly what I did. I said, "You think you have the right to pull me over?" No. So here was what was so upsetting is
entitlement is just right there all the time. It's great.
There was like a truck that was like broken down in the middle of an intersection. And so I had to go around the truck. And in order to get around the truck, I like sped up because there was a bunch of people coming. So, you know, you don't want to like get left behind. And so I sped. And I mean, I must have been going over the speed limit for 4 seconds. Boop, boop.
How much over? That's the question.
It was like 15 over.
Okay.
And which I should not have been doing, but I was just trying to get around this truck. And
two soldiers took it to get it washed?
Yeah. And I got pulled over, and I said to the very, very nice police officer, I said, "I apologize. I was just trying to get around the truck." And she goes, "Yeah, there was about 8 of you that I could have pulled over, but you were just the first one that I could get behind." And she said, "Next time, just be a little more careful. Have a great day."
You got the warning.
I got the warning.
Nice.
Okay.
And I think it was because
let me ask you this. Did they check your driving record?
They did, and I have a very impeccable driving record.
So when they asked for driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
Well, I said insurance.
They took the license back to the car and ran it, and then came back and you got the warning?
Yeah.
So you gave whatever your defense was going to be.
Yeah.
Following the crowd at chow time. How are you going to find the mess hall? I was just following the crowd at chow time.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was enough.
Yeah. And they
TLC? Tickets?
Never been pulled over.
Wow. That's not true. Ever?
Ever. So I've been driving for, 9 years?
Okay, let me ask you then. This is the tough question at the presser. Have you never been pulled over because you're lucky? Or have you never been pulled over because there's no reason to pull you over?
I'd say lucky.
Okay.
I mean, look.
That luck's going to run out.
Are you the guy that you're passing a cop and you're going 85, but then you see the cop and you just slam on your brakes?
Not 85. If we're in a 65,
you can't drive 85.
I'm probably going 75.
I can't drive.
55, Sammy Hagar. That's a good song.
85.
Van Hagar.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We got it.
You want me to sing the rest of it?
We got the point.
Okay, sorry.
Continue.
I'd say if we're going in a 65, I'm probably somewhere between 70 and 75.
All right. If you're in single digits, I think you're okay. And I'm not speaking as a police officer.
I've heard.
I'm just speaking as like rumors.
Yeah, I think you're right there.
Did you hear the quotas are going away?
The quotas? So they don't have to make the money.
Or they may go away.
Oh, wow.
In the state.
That would change everything.
Ooh, so I can be less careful in Shawnee Hills now?
Oh, that's great. There you go.
No.
That's a good thing to say on the radio.
No, I'm kidding.
All right, so you've never been pulled over.
Never.
I think the last time I've been pulled over is probably, it's been a lot of years. It's been a lot of years. And I try to drive pretty conservatively.
Was I alive?
Okay, yes, you were definitely alive.
Okay.
And it was in Grandview.
Oh.
And
did you get a ticket?
Nope. Probably from the record. Probably from the driving record.
You know, my grandmother once got pulled over, and she called me.
Mima?
Not Mima. That's a good callback. My grandmother once got pulled over, and she called me like 2 hours later, and she was in tears.
She was your first call from jail?
I guess.
Because she does get one call.
Here's the best part. She called me. She's sobbing, and I'm like, what is going on? She goes, I got arrested. I said, you got arrested? She goes, yeah, I've never been arrested in my life.
Unpaid parking tickets.
Well, she got in a fight at the North Carolina State game.
How did she get arrested?
So I come to find out we have this whole conversation. She takes me through how she got pulled over. And she goes, and yeah, in the end, I mean, she gave me a warning, but it was so scary. I said, I thought you got arrested. She goes, oh, well, yeah, I got arrested. They pulled me over. I said, those are not the same thing, Grandma.
I got arrested.
Those are not.
Were there any handcuffs involved?
Yes.
You did not get arrested.
You did not get arrested, Grandma.
You weren't even detained necessarily. I guess you were.
She got a warning.
Yeah. Well, she was detained then. but not in cuffs.
There's probably no record of it. She could have kept it a secret.
The whole time I'm thinking what you're thinking is like, what did Grandma do to get taken away?
Shedeur hasn't spoken about this, has he? Listen, this is an easy one.
Doubt it.
He's going to say...
If he did, it was scripted by somebody else anyway.
Yeah.
So
well,
whatever.
I don't even know if it needs to be scripted.
You just say...
It was foolish.
Yeah.
You know, it was late at night. There was no traffic. I didn't know how fast I was technically doing. He can have any whatever. The weird part is that it sounds like he and his girlfriend were in a hurry to get home or somewhere.
Or racing.
Like, that is not a good That is bad. Yeah. So he can pay a $250 fine and move on with his life, which is what he's going to do.
Exactly. And I think the thing is, everybody in the NFL gets one. This happens one time, everybody can say.
This is speeding. It's a criminal speed almost, but or whatever
there
that
you
is.
are again almost. It was a 40 over. That's criminal speeding, Rothman.
If it was criminal speeding, he would have been arrested.
Well, I don't know. I work in sports. Okay? Gosh.
Wanted to be a police officer. Can you tell?
Yeah.
I really did.
Yeah, I could see. I could see you as a police officer.
No, I really did.
I could see you walking up with the badge.
I settled for a humane agent.
License and registration, please.
Proof of insurance.
Proof of insurance.
Step out of the car, please. Pennsylvania v. Mims. Get out of the car.
Get out of the car, man.
Yeah. I can do all of it.
You nailed that.
Yeah. I don't want to impersonate a cop on the radio. I think that's a felony.
Just to be clear.
Maybe impersonating a cop in the car would be.
Rothman, not a police officer.
Yes.
Cole has been speeding in his life.
What is the over-under? Okay, yeah.
Speeding in my life.
He was on the highway, so I'm getting word it was on 71, but he was in an area where it comes down to 60.
on 71?
It comes down to 60 in certain areas, I guess. Thank you,
Cole,
CJ.
What car do you drive?
Oh, you actually want to know?
Yeah.
Oh, a Honda CRV.
Hey, Mr. Officer out there, look out for some Honda CRVs. Wait a minute.
It wasn't him.
Okay.
You said this happened at 3:03.
Was it a Honda CRV?
I'm not saying anything.
I have never left this studio at 3:03.
At the end of this
I
day.
would have been able to identify you. That's the difference. Your head would have been sticking out of the sunroof like a giraffe in Hangover.
My TikTok
did
hair
the person
blowing
have
away.
long hair like Cole?
It was probably Nicole because she went to Georgia, so you know.
No, you would know.
I know her vehicle.
Oh, that's a good joke, though. He made a Georgia joke. Do you get it? Because the reckless driving.
Charlie Babbitt made a joke.
Hey.
Yeah.
Charlie Babbitt
made a joke. All right, so Shedeur, you said arrest him. I said give him a warning.
I say warning's fine. I just think, and we all give him a pass and say, hey, big dog, don't do that again.
That's right.
There you go.
Didn't hurt himself.
No.
Thank goodness. Didn't hurt somebody else.
It's not going to affect the season. No one's going to care.
It's
Well,
good.
but the thing is, it's a good learning lesson because what you just said. He didn't hit anybody. Better that way than the more devastating.
I don't like that either.
He wasn't even doing it in a car that you would say, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
No traffic. You wanted to open it up a little bit. This said, listen, I don't know whether he got a pass because I am somewhat correct here. We can verify this. When someone exceeds the speed limit by a significant margin, typically 30 over the limit on the freeway or 25 over in other areas, then it could be a criminal speed. And I would think that would be something that he could be arrested for. And he was doing 41 allegedly. If that was clocked accurately. Anyway, Shedeur, it's just like the one blip. Like it's nothing, but it's something for him.
It's something. And people were waiting for something. That's the thing. That's the thing. And in the situation he's in, people have been holding their breath.
Set a good example, Shedeur. You're a leader now.
You too, Cole. You're not really
Cole's
a leader.
fine. He's never been pulled over.
Yeah, but he's out there leading the gang.
We got to make this happen.
That's why I wanted his car
I'll
out there.
confess to it. If it happens, I will confess to it day of.
I just want that feeling. Rear view mirror, lights on.
Boop, boop. And I don't say it arrogantly. I don't think I'm above the law. I'm just saying it hasn't happened. So if any police officers happen to be listening to this program, I'm not saying oh, look how cool I am. I get away with no, it just hasn't happened.
I will tell you this right now. I cannot wait until you walk into the parking lot and there's a cop parked behind your car, just waiting. You get in, you start the car.
Have you heard the story about him in Vegas?
The prank arrest on me?
No.
Yep.
That was a good one.
Next segment.
It was a good one.
All right.
Yeah.
I've never heard it.
And speaking of the Browns, round 2 pick. Will he be the key? Might be. We'll tell you next in 2 minutes. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures. Until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Level up your summer projects with 4th of July savings on top brand cordless power tools from the Home Depot. Whether you're working on a fence, a planter box, or a new workbench, get the power and runtime you need with the Ryobi One Plus 18-volt 2 toolkit from the Home Depot for only $99, was $139. Get 4th of July savings on the cordless power you need to make summer projects easier than ever. Right now at the Home Depot.
Get blockbuster savings at Coughlin Ford. 5-time winner of the Ford President's Award. Get employee pricing on new F-150s. $10,000 off MSRP on new 25s or $13,000 off new 24 models. Shop the fastest growing Ford dealership in Central Ohio. From America, for America. Visit CoughlinFord.com.
Based on YTD sales and ground stock. All factory rebates to dealer. All prior sales excluded. In-stock units only. Must finance through Ford Motor Credit. Not all will qualify. No security deposit required. Residency restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. N7725.
Don't sweat it. Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your air conditioner fast. 1-800-COOLING.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT. Kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Anthony once ran the table on the World 9-Ball champion. Coincidentally, Maddie is out looking for a magic 8-ball. Signs point to this is Rothman and Ice.
Out looking for a good 8-ball. We have a radio injury. King just hit himself in the nose and broke it with the headphones. Yeah. Putting the headphones on.
They snapped back and snapped into my nose.
That's what we call radio karma.
Yeah, gonna have a bloody nose on radio here.
I have been alerted that Shedeur Sanders 101 in the 60 is on YouTube. I don't think it's going to be worth my time, but it's only 4 minutes, and he pulled over right away, and
we should just
a nice, classy pickup.
I don't want to take control of your show, but what if we just air it just right now? We just all get quiet. I don't even know if it has audio, but we just for 4 minutes. We just take
no, we don't do that.
Let's just take a minute.
Something that we would make him kind of proof listen to and then play it.
No. I want all of it out.
I know.
Let's just take a chance.
Take a walk. Take a chance.
Take a chance on me.
While I am reading the Shedeur. Yep. Do you have a Ohio driver's license? Okay. What's your first name? You have a Colorado driver's license. I did read, you know why it's worth listening to at some point? I did read, I don't know if this is accurate, that the police officers did eventually, they knew who he was, Cleveland Browns QB, and there was a little bit of, not starstruck, but there was a little bit of, hey, we know who you are and that kind of thing. Obviously, you got a ticket. You can get a warning out of it.
Well, I do think
I'm interested in that criminal side of it. The 101. His record must be okay.
Yeah.
Because 101 and a 60 is probably enough for him to say, okay, we're towing that bad boy and coming with us. But I'm not sure about that. I didn't in my dreams I wasn't a traffic cop.
What were you?
I was more of like a state trooper, even though they give tickets. But it was like more of a kind of like, I don't know. You weren't really sure where I was coming from.
You wanted to save the day.
The Ray-Bans, the whole thing, yeah. All right, so Quinshon Judkins this is kind of funny, because of being a Buckeye and being a national champ and getting drafted by Cleveland, there's always this narrative of, wow, he's staying at home, Ohio and now, and all that, and you know what I mean? Like, it's got a funny vibe to it, like, because the media wants that to be something. The Buckeye playing for the Browns.
Yeah,
they want that to feel like something.
Wait until you find out that you, sir, are the media.
No.
You're the media.
No, we're not. I'm not the media. You are the media. I'm not the media.
You're the media.
I don't cover them. We're not going over there to be a beat reporter. We're not showing up to press conferences.
Don't call me the media. You're
job.
The media.
You're the media.
No, you're.
Let's hear from Quinshon when he was asked about just those Ohio roots and just how they're growing by the minute.
Where's home for your home?
I'm from Alabama.
Alabama.
Originally, yeah, I'm from Montgomery, Alabama.
Okay.
And went to high school in Pike Road, based out of Alabama. Yeah.
Does Ohio kind of feel like home in a second?
No, it does not. I'm not going to lie to you. Alabama is really hot. It's humid. It's a lot of trees. It's not really too much to do. And I'll say my time in Columbus was quite the opposite because it's a lot of, like, my family come in town for games, different stuff we can do. We can go travel. They have, like, cabins out there, different things downtown as far as amusement for families. And then I'll say it's just really cold there too, like the weather, snowing. When I was in Ohio, it was the first time I learned how to plow the snow out my car and out my driveway. So it's definitely a different experience for me, but I adjusted to it and it's normal for me now, so I'm excited.
I don't think he meant it how it came out. I think they were asking him to basically he went into comparison mode.
Yes.
That wasn't I'm not from Ohio. Like it came off initially when they said, does Ohio feel like home now? It was no. Like, I don't think it was, when I read it, it sounded like.
He 1,000% took the question literally, and I love it. Does Ohio feel like home? No, Alabama's hot and Columbus is cold.
One of the first things he said was Alabama has trees.
Yeah. Well,
so do we.
We're doing okay.
I know.
Well, I think what he meant was that Alabama didn't really, where he grew up, didn't have as much going for it as we do. It sounded like it was like everything felt bigger, newer, something different here. But you're right. He did go with the trees.
I respect the trees. He said, you know what? When I look around Alabama, I see a lot of green and a lot of trees. When I look around Ohio, they could do better. So I wish more people would answer questions literally like that. Because I don't think he did it intentionally. I just think that's what he thought.
He's going to be a very interesting dude to watch up there because he could be one of those guys that could be a 3-down RB1 in this league and really help out a young quarterback up there because his size is fairly prototypical. 6 feet, 221. That's plenty. And it'll be really interesting to see because his physicality, I think, is going to be a major advantager because he's not just a slasher. He can finish. He has a nose for the end zone. You're in the media. You covered him.
Don't put me in the media.
And so, but he's a touchdown monster, and that's the tiebreaker in the NFL.
I will say the one thing that I think we have overlooked a lot from this past season is how it may have changed the Ohio State running back room forever. And I'll tell you why. Quinshon Judkins is going to go to the Browns, and he's going to be a long-time NFL running back. He's going to get his chance. They've clearly already showed that, he is their guy. And while they may split some carries, he's going to be their bell cow, if you will. And then you look over at the Patriots, and it's the same thing with TreVeyon Henderson. They have put so much stock into him that he's going to be the guy. And so it is allowed for a world where players can come to Ohio State, not take every carry. They can split the carry and still understand that they can go to the NFL and be a dominant running back and be a top choice in the NFL draft.
We've had combos before, though.
Yes, but I don't think we ever had a combo like this.
Well, I covered Michael Wiley and Joe Montgomery, and I'm telling you, those two guys, that's a duo. I know it's before your time in the 90s, but that's something. And then before my time with Snow and Graham, and there have been some combinations here that are pretty beastly. The number one would be Archie and Pete, but
yeah,
I agree with you that it has set them up as a benchmark for the new era to live up to. And that's going to be pretty damn difficult because those two guys were incredible.
Let me ask you about Wiley. Were they the same year? I don't know if you remember that. They were?
Oh, in 98?
Yeah. Like, were they, so they were both juniors?
I got to go back and see.
Because I think that's what made this so interesting is that both TreVeyon, I guess TreVeyon was a senior and Quinshon, but like they were both in the same prime. It wasn't like one
came back after that. He was coming back in 99. I think Joe may have been done because that was the year. That was the Michigan State loss in 98 where they're trailing and Joe is just doing everything.
Just carrying the whole team.
And this is what I remember. I remember that, he's carrying that last drive.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just chunks of yards. I'd love to go back and watch that last drive. And I feel like they got inside the 20 and they just said, now we're going to throw it. I have to look at the clock. I got to see where the time was. But I think there was time to continue to run the football with Joe. He was not going to be stopped. And they could have rescued that game. And then the final pick in the left-hand corner. But I'll have to go back. But I remember of the duos that I covered in that time, I thought that Mike and Joe were as good as any tandem I've seen.
In the last 20 years, we've had some good duos. We had Boom Herron and Brandon Sane. We had Beanie shared the load with Antonio Pittman, but Beanie was really young at that time.
Where would you put Dobbins and Teague?
Oh, I feel like Dobbins was
Master Teague.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Go look at I think one guy carried that's like LeBron and Bronny.
That's
almost.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, I felt like
because I like saying it because when it's like Henry, like Hank Aaron and his brother Tommy. How many home runs they combined?
Well, that's what I
760.
Right.
I said after the Memorial that Dom and I have now covered a combined 48 Memorial tournaments. Is that not insane?
That's incredible.
It's really, really remarkable.
I think Judkins, where was he picked? 36?
Yeah.
That's a nice pick.
That's a lot of stock.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stock. Trey went 38. I mean, you're talking about two guys that clearly have been invested or organizations that invested in these guys.
He is going to be motivated up there. They're going to need him too.
Yes, they are.
To get a physical back, that identity in the dog pound, that could be something. We'll come back.
I love his answer.
The trees?
Well, just how literally took it. Is it like home? Well, no, home's different.
Well, he didn't say, is it like home? I think the question was, does it feel like home?
Yeah, and he said...
And he answered it literally with the, is it like, specifically like it?
He also said that we have a lot of cabins around here.
I think he probably had been out to Hocking Hills or somewhere. Like he had, that's my guess, is that he cherished...
That is a good point.
That he cherished the cabin.
You think that he drove into... up into Olentangy?
I think we need to identify the cabin the same way you need to identify this person that nearly ripped off my fender here that works in the building.
Boy, we'll get you a new fender.
Yeah. No, that never happened. That's why it's off with
We'll get you a new one anyway. It needs one. All right? I saw it.
Yeah. I want that fender creamed and buffed with a fine chamois.
There you go.
Are we headed for a letdown tonight? That's next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Beds are us when dreams sunk in. Beds are us. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH. Beds are us when dreams sunk in. Beds are us.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Matty Ice here from McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. Are you looking for an affordable family car? Then the Chevy Traverse is for you. This month at McDaniel GM Superstore, you can get up to $3,000 off MSRP on a 2025 Traverse. Plus, qualified buyers can finance at 6.8% for 72 months. They are just a short drive north of Route 23 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. McDaniel GM Superstore, where great deals meet a century of trust. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. From sold-out stadiums under Friday night lights to more than 100,000 screaming fans on the banks of the Olentangy. America's football capital is right here in Ohio. But the greatest football players and coaches of all time live up the road in Canton at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And a trip there should be on every football fan's list. Go to 971thefan.com/goldjacket and enter to win a VIP experience to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Ignite the passion. Relive the glory.
Hey guys, it's Timmy Hall from my friends at Orthopedic One, Central Ohio's most trusted orthopedic practice. 2 years ago, I was actually experiencing hip pain for the first time in my life, and I knew I needed the best. So I chose Orthopedic One for my physical therapy needs. And in a matter of weeks, I was rotating that golf swing better than before, and I was the longest hitter in my group again. So be like me and trust Orthopedic One. Several convenient locations around Central Ohio. To find a physician or location near you, go to www.orthopedic1.com.
Dr. Marta Lavelle of Urbana and Darby Dental Smiles on having First Bank of Central Ohio as a partner.
It has been great working with First Bank of Central Ohio. They helped me achieve a huge goal, becoming a business owner. The bank made it so easy. They helped me through the whole process. It's been great ever since.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
We at The Fan have created a show where you can be a homer, a hater, or whatever you want to be. Your family may not listen to you, but we will. Sundays at 11, it's The Fan Call-In Show presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus. You're welcome.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places that I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing a schedule, and responding to Jim's long emails. Leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC at dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Weston Air Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Matty was a big Browns fan. Scratch that, we mean he's a big fan of the former Browns. The Baltimore Ravens. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, Ice out. Adam King in. What was I just saying?
Welcome back to Rothman and Ice. Ice out.
I was saying something else.
Oh, sorry.
I can't even remember now.
You were talking.
You got me all. You know, so I watched the YouTube video, Shedeur. First of all, like I said to Cole during the break, you're driving a fancy sports car. You're going to open that up a little bit when there's no traffic. You're compelled to do it. You feel like you have to for 10, 15 seconds. You wind it up, wind it down. Weird that he'd be going 101 in that truck. Like that's not a vehicle that you would.
I'll tell you this: it would make me feel unsafe. I'd be worried I would, catch the wrong turn.
It's a real cruising vessel. He was just going straight, but it's a weird vehicle to be going that fast in, or to be racing in. That's the odd part to me. Not that he was speeding, and it was late at night, and there was no traffic, and he was on the highway. But if he was in a car that wants to do that's easy to drive fast and dangerous, then I could maybe expect him to want to punch it. But that's the weird part. We're headed for a letdown tonight. Halliburton's going to play, right? The reason Halliburton's going to play is not because he's going to feel pressure to play because it's elimination. It's because Vegas is telling you he's going to play.
I'm looking here.
There's an over-under on him, on points. It's 13.5.
Then he's going to play. He fully intends to be out there.
Yeah.
He's going to gut it out.
That's right.
Do you want a guy gutting it out in game 6 with the season on the line, or would you rather have a fully healthy guy out there?
I think you test him. You test him to see. Only the coach and the doctor, only he knows for sure what he can try to do. Yep. Nobody knows whether that's going to last tonight. He's got a calf strain. He could strain it. He could re-aggravate it during the game. But if he's good enough to go, he's got to go. This is so simple. It's not even that complex as far as it's not even controversial. I can't stand some of this stuff with the injuries. He's going to try if he can go. If he can't go and he's a liability, he shouldn't be playing. That's it. This whole, you got the Schlereth bite?
Yeah.
Okay. Mark Schlereth, who I love, who played with a million injuries.
29 surgeries.
Not only did he play with injuries, what did I ask him at Radio Row?
Oh,
how many times he went to the bathroom in his football pants playing the game? He's cut differently. Here's Schlereth on it.
If you're a player worth your salt, you play when you're injured. And you play well when you're injured. That's the issue there. And again, that becomes when you're not playing well, is it the calf? Is it something on your, sure. And that becomes, the coach, the trainers, all those guys have to be the gatekeeper, because any player worth his salt, even if he's injured, is going to try to go out there and play.
It's unfair what he said in the middle, that any player worth his salt plays when he's injured and plays well. That's unfair. That's unfair. Not everybody, either, you can't have it both ways, Mark. You either praise him for gutting it out because he's not 100%, but don't crush him if he's not effective.
Well, I just don't. I'll say this. I don't like the idea of putting someone out there. I think 90% is my cutoff. If you're not 90% or above, you're hurting your team.
It's not a science. You can't put a percentage on it.
I put a percentage on it. Okay? I said 90%. My team, when I'm in the NBA Finals.
But how are you measuring it?
I watch.
By height?
I say that man is 89%. He will not get out there. I don't think.
Are you in the camp of he should do anything to play?
No.
He's either right. He's either good enough to go or he's not.
But I also think that we're talking about Tyrese Halliburton. We're not talking about Michael Jordan. If this is Michael Jordan, 80% of Michael Jordan is still better than 100% of most players.
I agree with that. But if Michael had a calf strain and it was severe,
I'd say get out there, Michael.
And he didn't have a good game, you wouldn't say he's not worth his salt.
Well, no, that's just a silly thing to say. No. That's just somebody saying an outlandish thing to say an outlandish thing.
Hold on. He's got the credibility for it, though. This is a guy
He's a football player. He played injured. That happens.
Yeah.
But if
he played well, apparently.
But if he was so injured that he couldn't effectively block somebody, he shouldn't be on the field.
That's right.
He's basically going, you know what he went, huh?
Did I do that right? Did I do a good impression? That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go. I continue.
I was about to say, impression of who?
I guess me. All right, so, back to this. I keep losing my train of thought. And so.
Good job, Adam.
Thank you.
Yes. You're really J.C. Sheldoning me right now. You're trying to get on. You're trying to.
There's another transition.
You're trying to
That's another segue.
Yeah, all right. We'll get to that eventually. He's a football player. He took his tough pill today. You didn't. That's the name of the game in football. And I'm not saying these guys shouldn't be tough in basketball. They are. But you have to be able to move a certain way and elevate and guard. There has to be. This isn't a guy taping up a broken thumb and being an offensive lineman. It's not the same. If it was a lower extremity injury and something that he played through, and Mark did, I praise him for it. That's tough. That's dedication. That's ability, to your point. But I don't like this comment of, here's the NBA question. Should T.J. McConnell be playing more than Halliburton because he can break him down? He's got the speed. He's smaller. He might limit turnovers. The only way you would know that is that in warm-up, and then you ask the player, where are you? He's probably going to lie to you.
That's what I was going to say.
But you'll know this in the first 5 minutes of the game, whether he is really struggling. So two things are going to happen. He won't be effective at all from the get-go, and you'll know and you'll have to adjust, and they'll have a plan for that. Or two, he plays well, guts it out, is somewhat effective enough to keep him in there because he's drawing enough attention and he's not laying an egg offensively. But this whole deep conversation of oh, wow, if he doesn't play, that means he's soft and he's not a superstar. And he's going to try. That's all. You cannot
While I disagree with the point of if somebody's hurt, I don't want them to play, I certainly am not going to discount.
Injured is different.
I'm certainly not going to discount somebody who's injured and say because you're injured and won't tough it out, you're less of a player. Like, that's just silly. That's just not fair.
No player would really do that unless it was a regular season game that wasn't impactful, or it was a season that you didn't make the playoffs. It's the end of the year, and you've got and you're in a contract situation that you would not risk tearing your Achilles over your future in a non-impactful game. This is an elimination game, Game 6 of the NBA Finals. If he can give it a go, he'll give it a go. And if he can't, that means I'm not going to say that he is soft. I'm saying that he knows his body and he can't do it.
And he's also probably making that decision for the betterment of the team. You don't want to let your teammates down.
Could there be a percentage that there's some individual? Of course, it's his future too.
It's 90%. You can 90% and above.
I'd love to see you go in there and do your scientific thing.
Halliburton, you think you're at 90? Let's see it out there. It's an 87.
Maybe you have a checklist on if you can do this, it adds up to 90.
There you go.
All right, we'll come back, top of the hour, and we'll get a Sports Center break. Caitlin Clark, villain, hero, or somewhere in between. We'll examine it, and you'll hear from her coach, who is trying to just take everything off her plate. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
T-Bone and Tyvis are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
Trust. It's something we all value, but also something that's hard to earn, especially when it comes to your home. In a city like Columbus with so many contractors to choose from, how do you know who to trust with one of your biggest investments? At Newman Roofing, we believe trust starts with character and continues with consistent results. As a family-owned and operated company, we built our reputation on hiring good people, value-driven professionals who treat your home with the same care and respect they'd give their home. Our team is committed to delivering a true white glove experience. That means paying attention to the details, communicating clearly, and doing the job right the first time. We use only the highest quality products, installed with precision and backed by proven techniques. That's how we ensure you'll feel confident not just today, but for years to come. And we don't just ask you to take our word for it. With over 770 five-star reviews on Google, you can read story after story from homeowners just like you who trusted Newman Roofing and had their expectations exceeded. When it comes to roofing, gutters, or siding, call the local company built around family, values, and integrity. Newman Roofing. Call today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
So we bought an actual shopping mall and put one of the largest Honda dealerships in the world inside of it. Hi, it's Steve Lindsay with Lindsay Honda. So it's big. We house about 150 to 200 cars indoors, lit, all unlocked, ready for you to be able to view and see. A fully tempered climate. Doesn't matter if it's raining outside, 10 below zero, super hot. There's real trees inside, and it's just a casual environment. And if you haven't seen it, it's really a cool story, not about its opulence. It's just a cool story to see what was a dilapidated old mall being reinvigorated into a pillar in the community that everybody benefits from.
This month at Lindsay Honda, choose a 2025 Honda Ridgeline RTL, Honda HR-V or CR-V, and pay just $299 a month at our famous Lindsay Honda Trade-A-Thon. We'll trade for anything and give you $1,000 more for your vehicle all month long. Visit lindsayhonda.com for details.
Bobcat Enterprises says thank you for your support as they celebrate 50 years of serving the construction industry. Established in 1975 in Cincinnati, Bobcat Enterprises has expanded to 9 stores to meet you where you are in Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. Find equipment for any construction project, including compact track loaders and excavators. Plus, Bobcat Enterprises rents compact equipment and attachments. Find current specials and locations at bobcatent.com or follow Bobcat Enterprises Inc. on Facebook. Bobcat Enterprises, 50 years working for you.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Hereeth my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places that I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
In a world parched for excitement, one drink will emerge. Twisted Tea, the refreshing thrill ride of flavor. Recreating its classic role as the hard iced tea that goes down smooth. Twisted Tea doesn't just taste like real iced tea, it's made with real brewed tea and a 5% kick of alcohol. Taste the adventure with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. We're supposed to have day baseball over at Huntington Park. They were supposed to get underway at noon, resuming the game that got suspended last night. However, with some weather in the area, they have not gotten started yet. When they do, Columbus will be leading 4-3 in the fourth. Then they will play today's scheduled game after that. We've got day baseball down at Great American Ballpark as the Reds looking to stretch their winning streak to 5 games. They're in the bottom of the first, and the Reds currently have a 2-1 lead over the Minnesota Twins. The Guardians wrapping up their series with the Giants at 4:05 this afternoon. Gavin Williams versus Logan Webb, the pitching matchup in that one. And Game 6 of the NBA Finals tonight at 8:30 with the Pacers hosting the Thunder. You can hear it right here on The Fan with coverage beginning at 8. This one's sponsored by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, Pataskala, and always online, rcdrv.com.
Hey, kids. Anthony once did magic for birthday parties. See, when you say it out loud, it doesn't sound so bad. Back to Rothman and Ice.
Second hour of the program.
Magic, huh?
Yeah.
It does sound as bad, by the way.
It sounds incredible. It sounds like anyone that would say that it sounds bad.
What number am I thinking
didn't
of?
know how to do it. I don't do those kinds of tricks.
Oh, well.
Tricks are for kids.
Guess you're not a magician.
All right. Hold out your hand. No, the clean one. All right. Bake. Ever been pulled over?
Of course I have.
When was the last time?
Oh, man. I think it's been over 10 years.
You're doing a lot of traveling on the highways and byways of this beautiful state.
I have been the last couple of weeks.
So as you get older, you just drive more conservatively. You don't need to rush to get anywhere. Or are you what kind of a driver are you?
So, AR, I'll tell you a story. I was younger.
Sorry, we don't have time for stories.
I don't know how old I was, but I was out of high school. And I remember I was driving erratically on 270.
Yeah. Ooh.
And I was around Georgesville Road, and I remember passing a couple cars. And then I get to the traffic light at 62 down in Grove City, and all these cars I just passed came passing me on the exit ramp. And I was like, you know what? There's no sense in doing this in town anymore. So I'm a set my cruise control about 8 or 9 miles per hour.
Okay, that's usually
good answer. Good answer.
And
it could be.
So on driving 71 the past couple of weeks, it's 70 when you get north of Polaris, all the way up to 76 where I was getting off and heading towards Akron. Set it at 79. And I just went. If a cop was going to come out and get me, he came out and got me.
So if you see one ahead of the time at 79, you don't do the cruise control, just hit the minus?
I just keep going. He's got better things to worry about than me.
Yeah, probably so.
Now, if I'm whipping in and out of lanes, that's a different story. They're probably going to come out after you.
Yeah, as they should.
I will say that story I think everybody has probably experienced at some point in their driving where you're like, oh, man, I just passed 15 cars. I'm going to make it so much quicker. And then you realize it's like.
All right, here, better question. Of the four of us, what are the odds that Cole's never been pulled over? Accidents.
I have been in 6 car accidents.
6?
And not a one was my fault. I've 6 times. People are out to get me, I'm convinced.
So I have been in 1 car accident when I wasn't driving, and then I think 4 when I was.
4? Yeah. Wow, that's so the over-under is a little higher than I thought. I've been in 1 that was wicked when I was in high school. And it was wild. I was going, it was junior prom.
Was this the one where your brother got hit by a car and you just kept going to football practice?
We were on bicycles.
You kept going to football practice?
He was okay. We were riding our bikes to football practice in our uniforms, as kids did of that age.
What are you, the Green Bay Packers?
A helmet on the handlebars. And we went through an intersection, and my brother went up in the air. I mean, someone just cracked him, and he went up in the air and came down. I stayed for a little bit, and then I was going to be late for practice.
I love it. Well done.
He was okay.
You kicked your brother.
They were not very happy that I left him.
You okay? All right, I'm going to practice.
Anyway, so I was, it was junior prom, and everybody was in, daddy's car. And I was in my stepdad's. He had just a sweet 280ZX. You guys wouldn't, maybe Bake knows what a 280ZX is. And it was stick, and we were going downtown to Chicago. With the prom was out north, and we were going back downtown. I've told Bobby this story for years ago. All he remembers where I was going to eat dinner was the pump room. Like that, Bobby, like exactly, right? Exactly.
There
I was
it is.
going to the pump room. And so
nice.
I was on the Kennedy Expressway, and I was following a buddy of mine, and he was following the other guy. And there was a person doing about 30 in the rain in the left-hand lane of the Kennedy Expressway. And actually there's a lot of pride in this, because at that moment, everyone just accordion started crashing. And I had a moment in time where I either was going to slam on the brakes and probably not have enough space, or punch it and try to get out of it. And I did the second.
I split the gap.
I punched it and went to the middle, and my left rear caught their right rear, and then 360 on the Kennedy facing the oncoming traffic. Car was not drivable. The fender, I couldn't pull out the fender enough.
You and fenders.
And yes, fender bender. And that was my ultimate wake-up call. And I didn't think I was even speeding. Of course, my girlfriend's dad was all over me. Hey, were you drinking? And I'm like, we're okay. You want to ask that first? And but I understand now. And but I wasn't, and we both weren't hurt. But she was in a prom dress, and I was in a tux. And we got off. The cops took us.
And it was pouring rain?
It was pouring rain.
Oof.
It was almost a movie, right? Dropped us off at Armitage and went to a Shell station and grabbed a payphone and called my stepdad and said, hey.
Did you make it to pump?
Never made it to the pump room.
Oh.
Not that night.
Hey.
All right. That's all right, Bake. So you're at 4. I'm at 1. You're at 6.
And not a 1 was my fault.
Cole's at what? 0?
2 that I was in, 0 that I've been driving.
Oh,
well,
just
I'm just counting driving.
Same person?
No.
Okay, I was going to say, don't go for the hat trick.
One was a babysitter.
Yeah.
One was a babysitter when I was like 4.
Oh, that doesn't count.
And then I don't think that. Well,
yeah, I mean, I
guess it does. I guess it.
No,
counts.
it doesn't. I mean, I'm well over 10 if we're talking about in the car.
You have to at least remember it.
What? Well over 10 car crashes?
Okay.
A lot.
What is, all right. First of all,
I think people are after you, dude.
You don't remember that one.
Yeah, I do.
At 4?
Yeah.
That's his first
I don't remember
memory.
anything before probably age 8.
And nothing after the age of 18?
That's right.
I think you start having memories that you can remember at 4 or 5.
I think when somebody T-bones you in the middle of the intersection, that definitely jolts your memory.
Probably was sleeping like a baby.
No.
He was a baby.
It didn't even
4
happen.
years old. First of all, I think my first memories are at probably 2 years old.
Okay.
I don't believe that.
First memories.
I remember my brother's baptism when I was 2.
Okay,
I remember.
but now you're just lying on radio.
No.
You've seen videos or pictures.
No. I remember being up on stage, if that's what it's called. I remember being up.
You sure this was a baptism?
Let's go with that.
I remember being up on stage as there's a deep drive to right field. It'll be a home run.
Yeah, right.
I remember being up on stage and looking out in the crowd, and I could see all my family members right now. And you know what? I was probably lying to myself for a while because for a second I thought it was mine.
Who are you, Oz the mentalist?
Yeah, buddy. What stage are you on for a baptism?
Yeah.
All right, listen. It's not what you know; it's what you can prove.
Yeah,
it's,
I
at
don't
the
really
altar,
know.
and then the altar's on top of a stage. For lack of a better term.
Yeah, ridiculous. Long story short, don't get in a car with me. I got a lot of
memories and a lot of repressed ones that need to come out on this show.
At 2 years old, I can remember things from 2 years old. Not many. I'm just saying my first memories.
My goodness.
Wow. I'm impressed.
There's a drive to deep left.
I will say
what he's forgotten.
It makes sense why he is not as intelligent as most men because he's got all that stuff he's got to think through.
By the way, this back to 10 car accidents.
Yeah.
That you've been involved in.
Not a one my fault.
In your lifetime.
Yeah.
Is unbelievable. The fact you're at double digits is awesome.
And then Baker's had 6. That's a ton, too.
Yeah. I can tell you that there are...
Never convicted them.
It's everybody else's fault, I guess. We had 16 car crashes between Adam King and Ryan Baker.
No wonder you have so much money. You're just suing everybody.
That's why
Sue everybody.
That's why we don't carpool together to these games. It's too risky. Can't put us both in the same car.
AR, it had to have been
4 of us in a car. Just don't buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah, AR.
You're not going to make it.
It had to have been one of these two who almost hit you. Because listen to this.
No, it wasn't. I would have identified them.
I'll tell you this. Somebody just said this explains a lot about Adam King.
Yeah.
My head has been thrown around a little bit in car accidents. And probably makes a lot more sense.
Smacked himself in the face with a headphone and tripped leaving the studio on the court.
That's true.
Yeah.
They let me get behind the wheel.
AR, I'll tell you this semi-road rage story.
By the way,
off the air.
I like your road. I don't like him,
Who
but
teases an off-air story?
Well, I don't know if I can say it all on air.
Well, I teased a potential off-air story about not identifying the person that came
Can I
in here
get
at
a
100.
car? Was it a Honda CR-V? Is that what we decided?
I'm sending that person an email once we find out
Here's
who it
the
is.
deal.
And I'm
Was it a
inviting them on
gray
the show.
car?
I think that it's probably best to keep it in-house.
Then why did we talk about it?
To decide whether or not it was worthy. I'm not saying we're done yet. We've got plenty of time.
I think
you
that we
guys
bring
might
them
be
on the
able
show.
to
New
guilt
hour.
me into saying it.
New hour. I get another question. Man or woman? Female.
Oh, it's Nicole. She's a bulldog.
No, it's not Nicole.
Georgia Bulldog, just to be specific.
I know exactly who it is. I know exactly
I
who
haven't
it
even
is.
told you the make or model of the
You
vehicle.
said it's a Honda CR-V.
I never said that.
That's what he said, a Honda CR-V. I know exactly who it is.
I said that was my car.
Yes, and he then looked at you and said, wait a minute. I know who it is. That's hilarious.
Oh.
If it is who you think it is
this
why do you have you seen this person do this before?
No.
If it is who you think it is?
I just was thinking about the timing and the rushing and
okay. You've really deduced it.
I figured it out. I'm a genius, is what I like to say. I actually, a lot of people don't.
Probably a wonderful person.
A lot of people don't think about this, but
running late.
I remember things from when I was 3 months old. I was standing on a stage at my brother's baptism, 3 months old. And
he can beat your memory by a good year and a half.
How'd our Caitlin Clark talk go?
It's coming next. Coming next. Yeah. You know what's interesting? Because I don't think this is a side that you have to technically be on. You'll hear it next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well-loved. And well, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
Hey, it's Anthony for my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. Summer savings, Rich is backing it up. He has rates as low as 0% and leases starting from $249 a month. How about a 25 Honda HR-V LX CVT two-wheel drive? Lease it for only $259 a month. 36 months, 30,000 miles with only $30.39 down. And all trades deserve a sweetener. He's giving you an extra $1,000 for yours. See them for all the details. Germain Honda of Dublin, Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
Don't miss the Right Rug Flooring Outlet Super Sale. Save up to 80% on truckloads of floors and more, including tiles starting at 19 cents a square foot and a massive selection of laminate, luxury vinyl, and carpet, all drastically reduced. Cabinets and lighting fixtures, too. Save up to 80% during the Right Rug Flooring Outlet Super Sale on Pop Road in Whitehall. 24-month financing is available with approved credit. Hurry, the Outlet Super Sale ends June 22nd. Dealers welcome.
Talking about guns might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Asking safety questions before a play date, like do you have pets, a pool, are there any unlocked guns in the home, can help keep kids safe. Learn more at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by Ohio Health and the Ad Council. Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN.
Hi, I'm Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers.
And I'm his very overpaid celebrity endorser, Common Man. Bob, I heard somewhere, actually from you many, many times, that Worthington Jewelers is where Columbus gets engaged.
It's too bad you and Timmy can't engage the audience.
Good zing, Bob.
If you're thinking of popping the question, there's only one place to go.
Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington. WorthingtonJewelers.com. Tell them Common Man sent you.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we're here to help keep you on the road so you can soak up all the summer fun. The road tunes.
Take me out to the ball game.
Hotel pools. Emergency ice cream stops. The sunscreen and bug spray everywhere. At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we're here for it all. So stop in for a quick oil change before you go. Only takes about 15 minutes. No appointment needed.
If you miss a little, you'll miss a lot. Search for your favorite fan shows wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe. Every episode comes right to your phone absolutely free. Modern technology, it's a hell of a thing. Do it now. The Fan.
No one knows better than a mom what's right for our kids. But with so many apps and devices, protecting them feels harder than ever. My name is Emily. My husband and I have 3 kids and we live in Strongsville. Ohio needs to act and put parents back in charge by passing a common sense law to require app stores to get parental approval before children download apps.
By requiring parental consent and age verification in the App Store, parents will have a simple, secure, and reliable way to choose what's best for their own kids. That's why Ohio's Fraternal Order of Police and the Ohio Suicide Prevention Foundation both support this common sense approach.
With one clear place to approve the apps they use, Ohio can put parents back in charge.
Tell your state legislators to pass the App Store Accountability Act now. Learn more at OWLR.org. Paid for by Ohio Women Lead Right.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see scattered showers and thunderstorms again, mainly in the first half of the afternoon. And then as we go into the evening, we should see a lot drier conditions. Afternoon highs in the upper 70s with breezy winds. And then for tonight, it will be cooler, a lot more comfortable with lows in the 60s. And for Friday, we end the work week with plenty of sunshine and our highs getting in the mid to upper 80s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Anthony once got Jack Nicklaus to quote the movie Caddyshack, so he's got that going for him.
The last time I saw a mouth like that, I had a hook.
Which is nice. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Let's go while we're young.
The WNBA got a pretty big charge when Caitlin Clark arrived on the scene. And all of a sudden, she's had her fair share of battles on the court. It's been fun to watch. People that weren't interested previously. She's an absolute star. This isn't manufactured. She can shoot the lights out. And I think that's special when you're in a league where people aren't throwing alley-oops and you're not having that kind of run and gun style. She is that. She's got logo threes all over the place.
Back to back to back to back.
So they got pretty heated the other day and with Connecticut, and ironically, local star here, J.C. Sheldon.
Mm-hmm.
My theory on this yesterday is that anybody, I'll use Schlereth's words, anybody that's worth their salt as a competitor would see Caitlin Clark as an opponent and say, not on my watch. That's how you have to approach it. And you would deem that as the biggest challenge you could have. It would be like anybody in the NBA saying, Steph, you're not dropping 40 on me tonight. We're not dropping 10 threes. We're not doing that if I'm guarding you. And I think JC did exactly what she probably needed to do, and that's try to be as physical and frustrating as possible to Caitlin Clark. I'm not taking her off the hook. The rake of the face was incidental, in my view. She was overplaying her because you have to. And there's a lot of botting going on there, as Caitlin Clark looked like she was going to body her down and then step back. And when JC put her hand in there, she got eyeball and not real ball. And where I think JC would be at fault here, and I didn't watch the whole game, is that after she did incidentally poke her in the eye, then she stepped into her recovery space on purpose, I think, to make her know, I'm not backing down and I'm not going anywhere. And I think that's what lit the fuse. And that's when Caitlin spun around and said, why are we nose to nose still? And then Mabry came over and just hip checked her to the floor. And so
the hip check was wild.
Does Clark need an enforcer to step in? Does somebody need to be like somebody for Gretzky, somebody to protect the star?
Well, you saw that with
Cunningham.
Yeah, Cunningham jumping right in there. Let me say this. And it almost reminds me of, and this is how I felt on Twitter when it was all happening. You know when
where?
On Twitter?
Twitter.
All right, go
nice. Ahead. When you say something and your dad's like, hey, no, this has been going on for a long time. Like, you say, like, oh, man, I'm really annoyed about this. Or you talk about some movies like you haven't seen the original. And that's how I feel. It's like people online are like, this is crazy. This is wild. Before Angel Reese, there was Caitlin Clark versus J.C. Sheldon. This has long been a thing when they played in college. They do not like each other.
But they had these type of moments?
Yes, all through college. I mean, I don't know that it was to this elevated level of hip checks, but they had many moments throughout their college career where they were chirping back and forth. And Ohio State, multiple times, I think 4 times, got the best of Caitlin Clark, including in that massive game in Columbus where they stormed the field and then she got taken out. But there
field.
No, they stormed the field. Yeah. They actually went over to the shoe, ran on the field over there.
They tore down the goalpost.
They tore down the goalpost, threw it in the old tangent.
It's a nice pitch they have over there.
Exactly.
Where they play basketball.
Exactly. But so, yeah, like my thought when I'm seeing all this online, it was wild. Everyone's like, oh, my gosh, this is crazy. Who's J.C. Sheldon? Why is she fighting? This is before Angel Reese.
Real fast, what I saw, and I don't know if this is fair.
Well, you're wrong.
Is that JC's being accused of being a dirty player.
Well, she's not. And that's fine. Because here's the thing. I like Caitlin Clark. I am a Caitlin Clark fan. I think what she's done for the game is amazing. I think her ability to play is just insane. It's next level, unlike anything we've ever seen. But I think you can also understand, as you said, there is an added fire to the idea. If you're playing Michael Jordan, you want to play absolutely out of your mind. You want to play as uptight and you're not giving an inch. And that's going to lead to some fiery stuff. It happens with everybody. That doesn't mean JC has never been a dirty player. JC has always been an Aaron Kraft-esque defender, which annoys a lot of people because...
Frustrate your opponent.
Gives no room. I have always thought of JC Sheldon and Aaron Kraft in the exact same mindset.
So I had a buddy of mine yesterday. We were talking about this, which, by the way, is the ultimate praise for this league. Why is that funny?
Are you okay over there?
Coffee just came out.
My goodness.
Do you need a tissue?
Said the fact that two guys that don't regularly watch women's basketball were talking about this. Why is that funny?
It's not funny. Coffee just went out my nose.
No, I know, but it came out for a reason.
It went through the wrong pipe.
Oh, that?
Yeah.
Oh, was that anything I said?
No.
Oh, I thought the timing was pretty epic.
That's nervous.
Right, let him wipe it on his shirt.
Thank you, Cole.
Why are we bringing him tissues?
This is so sweet.
He's got a sleeve.
Oh, wow. That was wild. All right, continue.
The timing was impeccable, though. You got to admit that. Like, how many injuries are we going to sustain today? It's the first half of the show.
I've never done that. It was full-on coffee coming out of my nose. All right, continue.
All right. What a challenge. You're the J.C. Sheldon to my Caitlin Clark.
There you go.
So we were talking about this.
Yeah.
And his reaction was, what a stupid league. He said, what a stupid league. And I said, why is that? Because they're destroying what's making it great, which is Caitlin. And I looked back at him and I said, there's got to be more to just her coming in and dominating. Like, there has to be more. Like, these players aren't going to lay down. They're not going to.
No.
They're not going to. She's going to get her points. And then the other part of this is that, and I really probably need to watch more, is to see if Caitlin is being treated very unfairly. Just in general. Like not from a competitive standpoint. You want to guard her, you want to do all that, but she's such a superstar. There's so much envy about her, probably within the league, yet she's the one that's going to sell more tickets and bring more fans in, and it should be a little bit of a combination of, I want to be competitive, but not to a fault, which I think is kind of happening.
Well, the thing is, you know what makes Caitlin Clark amazing? Is that she continues to take shots. She continues to be guarded ridiculously, and she still makes the shots. She still drains them, and it's remarkable. It's truly special, and that's what makes it great. You don't want, like you said, you want a league where they just let her just be the best player, and then nobody's going to watch. Might as well have a shoot around.
Right. I like the competitive nature. I do think it's crossed the line. I don't think, this is not even an educated opinion, that she's probably brought less of it on herself than more.
I will say, they definitely target Caitlin. But Caitlin talks a lot.
She started it.
She started it.
You came out of nowhere with a comment like a 6-year-old. She started it.
Hold on, let me.
She started it.
She started it.
There, exactly. That's what she sounded like. I will say, like,
I didn't know you want to get involved in the discussion, Mr. Helper.
You watch, and so often she gets she lightly gets touched, and she turns around to the ref and says, "What in the world? How are you not going to call that?"
Any star in the league would do that.
Yes, but I'm tired of it.
Mike, they all would do it.
Yeah. But I think that's where players get frustrated.
I just don't think, I could be wrong, but as far as the enforcer goes, because you cannot relate this to the NBA. Draymond can't come on and say, well, I protect Steph. He's the franchise. Caitlin better get herself one of me. Yeah. Like, I don't know if that's...
He should say that because that's the truth.
But how many Mabrys are out there? And how many people are out there that physically could do it and then mentally would want to do it? Like, Cunningham did what she could on the breakaway.
That was wild.
But
she grabbed her hair and is talking. That's
when does this become bad for their sport? Because
it doesn't.
Ever?
It doesn't. You know why? Because we're talking about it.
Well, that's what I said to my buddy.
Yeah, we're talking about it, and we're going to talk about it. I remember, what was this, Monday night? Mm-hmm. My whole timeline on the Twitter was WNBA.
I got an hour-long FaceTime call just to talk about this.
What, with
an hour-long FaceTime call?
Well, we're going to need more information. With who?
You'll find out on the other side.
2 minutes?
Am I going to die?
In 2 minutes. No.
You said on the other side.
And the CFP is still trying to outthink themselves. That's in 2 minutes. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
Purple Wave Auction remains the trusted leader in online equipment auctions. What makes the difference is you. You are part of our growing global community that continues to trust Purple Wave with the equipment that builds and feeds America. This trust placed in us by our community, from construction to ag producers and fleet drivers, brings great equipment opportunities to their next owners. Join the Purple Wave community today. PurpleWave.com.
Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads, race car bobbleheads, little chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Want to jinx your favorite sports team?
Please get out of my Van Halen t-shirt before you jinx the band and they break up.
Just ask Maddie to print your shirts. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Well, back at it. Rothman and Ice. Adam King, 10 TV. To my right, the loose cannon. Cole behind the glass.
Muggsy's sincere leaper on the YouTube chat.
Muggsy Bogues?
Yeah. First of all, he was just Muggsy's leaper, which is an old Man and Bone reference. But then because of Sincere Johnson, he changed it to Muggsy's sincere leaper and says, clear the bong, King.
It felt like I neti potted with a cup of coffee. It's just to describe what happened here is that just my whole sinuses are clear. I can smell again, although it has a remnants of oat creamer. And it's just for the rest of, I mean, I can breathe on. It's good radio right there. I can breathe just so amazing.
No nasal strip needed. Like
no nasal strip
the way
needed.
To do it.
Yeah.
Clear everything out.
Yep.
The timing was impeccable.
I didn't
By the way,
realize until the break.
You're like the drop king. I'm surprised you didn't have this all ready to go. Like as a let's go to the videotape kind of thing. But the sound, because it literally happened the second I said, you know, a buddy of mine and I were watching the WNBA, and then he like completely blows coffee out of his nose.
I went back to look on the YouTube stream. Sadly, it wasn't on me when it. Well, I thought maybe you would actually see it happen in real time, but it was cut to you because it wanted to show the more handsome guy.
What about the white shirt?
White shirt's good.
Take a hit.
No, we're golden. I do want to give a big shout out to TLC. I want to give a shout out to Meemaw and TLC. Both of them have been there for me my whole life. TLC remembers when my baptism when he was 4 years old. But he came running in here with
I don't think he would have done that for me.
You don't?
I don't.
Well, I think it was probably partly because I was dripping and like
that's entirely why.
This is a communal space.
He's a guest. No, you want to treat him like a guest.
Not to be gross, but like I could see Adam was like holding his nose and something was dripping from it, so he needed like a. And I have a box of tissues right next to me.
It was a gulp of coffee.
If you'd wipe your nose every now and then, people wouldn't give you so much crud.
I'd see you're right. Hey-o. Well done.
Why was that well done?
Crud.
Yeah?
You have crud in your nose.
It was a quote from a movie.
Well, I thought
you're all right. I thought maybe you got the movie right.
What was the movie?
Clearly you didn't.
What was the movie?
It's okay.
What was the movie?
You didn't get it.
What was the movie?
The original Bad News Bears.
I've only seen the remake.
Well, that's a mistake.
It is, with Billy Bob Thornton.
What else were you going to pay off on?
Oh, yeah, you and your friend weirdly FaceTimed for an hour.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
it was weird. Or you were FaceTiming and then
Adam,
you started talking
also,
basketball.
This is good because I need you here because we're trying to come up with some sort of...
First time anyone has ever said that.
Clip that off. I want to use that as my ringtone.
There you go. If things go south, they could go south. So we're trying to come up with a sound bite or just like a little drop, a little sound effect, something. So when somebody says something that's a flex, and this is rooted in Rothman mentioning...
Okay, can I explain it?
Okay.
All right.
Backing away from the microphone.
No, you don't.
You guys are like brothers.
I mistold. I was doing a betting thing with hockey.
Okay.
And I was telling these guys that I wasn't going to get talked into betting Edmonton in Game 6. I was going to lay the goal and a half with Florida, but I was talking with some pretty heavy hitter inside hockey guys.
Okay.
And then hang on, and then I
Did you guys hear that too?
I accidentally said there are people that know even more than me. And what my reference was to betting hockey.
Yes.
It was to betting hockey.
But it made...
Not, yes. And
but it makes you sound
it's fine. Of course. Yes. It came off as this incredible, arrogant flex.
Well, there are people that do know more than me.
Exactly right. Even more.
Even more. But anytime that you say something that's like a name drop.
So he's trying to come up with a sound effect, which basically we might call the Adam King because of how much flexing you do. And we need a sound effect for it. And so he came up with that gong or whatever that is.
We got two gongs. You tell me which one sounds better. So, like, if Matty Ice says, no, I couldn't make it to work on Friday. I was golfing with the Veer.
Okay. Pretty epic.
Or,
I was looking for a good 8-ball.
Yeah.
Or if Rothman's like, you know, hey, I was watching that hockey game last night, and then I got a text from John Tortorella.
Okay.
I like the second one.
What is that from, by the way?
It's the Undertaker's gong.
Matty would love that.
It sounds like Hell's Bells. The start to Hell's Bells.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know if you guys knew the rest of Hell's Bells.
By the way,
back to Sammy
Hagar. That just made your police car sound be tolerable.
Oh.
By the way, that police car sound is not necessarily getting pulled over. That's a kind of move out of my way. Yep. You're in a loading zone. That's the sound they do for like a quick.
Yeah. Yep. If you want, you can cut my whoop whoop, and you can use that as the noise when you whoop whoop. There you go. You can use it. There you go. Use that as when somebody flexes. No, this second gong is the right.
I was at Wrigley Field years ago. No, that's not a flex. If I said I was at the first night game at Wrigley Field, which I was, it was rained out. That was rained out. So I was at Wrigley Field. Don't play it again. And you know where the relievers are.
And I was sitting next to Harry Carey.
The bathroom. By the way, my Harry Carey story is pretty good. When I was in Rockford working, this is what I loved about Harry Carey is when just a little Cub reporter just like you, and I was covering the Cubs opener, and
fitting as a Cub reporter.
I was on the field, and there's Harry Carey, and he wasn't holding any media thing, and I went up to him, young guy, Mr. Carey, can I get it? He's absolutely, and I started talking, and he started answering some of my questions, and then when the other media see that he's going, they come in, and the mics start coming, right? It's a scrum now.
Yeah, scrum.
And the second someone else stuck their mic in, he literally looked at that guy and said, get the hell out of here. Yep, this is a one-on-one, and this is going to happen.
Wow.
Yep.
That's pretty
sweet. And I've always thought that was this isn't a scrum. This isn't my lips are moving. Everyone's allowed to come over. He asked, and that's why I'm talking. I thought that was a good Harry Carey story.
A good story, very similar to a Will Howard story from last year at training camp I had. Will was just sitting over on a bench, and
he was at training camp?
Or at fall camp.
Okay.
Will was
you were on time. He was on time. Everything was good.
Everything was good, yeah. And he was sitting over on a bench, and everybody was doing media with the players. And I went over, and I just kind of sat down next to him. We were just talking.
That's good. You know what?
That's the end of the story.
I told him about a month ago when Maddie says, it wasn't just Maddie, it could be anybody. But I said, when Maddie says something that's like a big story or that I don't think so, I go, I need an effect. I need a boing. I need one of those. I was doing it normally. So he got me this. He got that.
I like that.
And he plays it all the time now. He's like a little kid who can't keep his hand off the stove. And so this is the new boing. I'm afraid this, yes.
Here's the problem, though. The boing is short. The gong, it lingers.
And by the way, it's kind of disconcerting to someone listening. Like, it's a little strong.
Yeah. So I was talking to Will Howard, and
it's not a flex, but it's a semi-flex.
Hold on, time out.
No,
if you start a sentence, I was talking to Will Howard, that is a gong.
It was just a personal thing?
So we were just hanging out talking about Columbus.
I won't do it, but I'm thinking it.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
And then all of a sudden, like, I can't remember, one of the beat writers like sees me talking to him and starts to like wander over, and then another starts to wander over, and I said, guys, I'm just talking, and there
were no microphones.
No, and there was no camera, and then magically somebody just like put a microphone in one after the other, and I got out of there, and by the time I got out of there was 30 people around Will, and after they were all done, I said, I'm so sorry, I was just talking.
So they viewed it as you're in the media and you were talking to him, so something's going to happen.
Yeah, we're going to go talk to him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I felt terrible. Very similar to your Harry Carey story, except Will was nice enough to talk to all of them. And I didn't even talk to him. Nor did I. I mean,
so you're endorsing this sound effect?
I like this sound effect. Okay. I think it gets the job done.
It's not overplayed.
Here's the thing.
I was overplaying it there.
Cole, let me talk to you a little bit about not overplaying something, all right?
Okay.
What makes something funny is if you don't do it all the time.
Funny how?
Well,
he's a clown? He's here to amuse you?
Yeah, are you here to amuse me, Cole?
I mean, I don't know. He said it.
Hello, what?
I mean, he's a big boy. He knows what he said.
Yeah.
Why? Funny how?
Listen,
you mean like the way he tells the story?
You hit it. That's okay. There it is. Funny looking. Nailed it. That's what it is. I think you're funny looking.
Thank you.
You know what I find funny? I find funny that most of my movie references now can fly straight over his head.
Anthony Rothman, not that good looking. Why do I sound so? My voice is so high. I sound like Mickey Mouse.
Deleted. Like it's whatever. All right.
Anthony Rothman, not that good looking.
Wow.
I mean, that's what I sound like an idiot. I don't know why I sound like that.
Well, puberty's coming.
Hopefully. Goodness gracious.
It'll happen.
I don't want to be in.
Don't let us know when it happens. We don't want to know.
I'm going to start talking from this road. I got to lean, get real low.
Start smoking. By the way, I had a GM at a television station say that to me.
Start smoking?
Yeah, this is in the 90s.
Yeah.
Not the 60s. Like, this is the 90s.
People still smoke. When in the 90s, you walk into Bob Evans, they say, do you want smoking or non-smoking?
They do?
Yes. I mean, when I was growing up, they had smoking.
Oh, no. I thought you meant like now.
No, back in the 90s.
Stop talking like that. Holy cow.
Smoking and non-smoking existed till like 2010.
Listen, the biggest example is on a plane.
Well, yes. I was not alive when we were smoking on planes.
He remembers it, though.
I remember.
He was just a baby. He was just a baby.
I remember snakes on a plane.
Hey, can I get one? Can I bum one of those?
Can I get one of those? just a year old.
just a wee lad.
I got real tired at my brother's baptism. You mind if I get one of those?
Can I bum one of those? All right, we'll come back with a Buckeye Bulletin, and we got a 4-star linebacker ready to commit. Has he, and where is he chosen? You'll find out next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same-game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
This is the Cincinnati Reds Down on the Farm Minor League Report, brought to you by Western and Southern Financial Group. The Reds' top prospect keeps moving up in the organization. The club's number one pick in the 2024 draft, second overall, Chase Burns, fresh off being named the Southern League Pitcher of the Week for the last week of May, on Sunday received the news that he would be moving up to AAA Louisville. The right-hander started the season with High A Dayton, where he struck out 20 in 11 2/3 innings, before moving on to Chattanooga in late April. In 8 games and 42 innings with the Lookouts, the 22-year-old posted a 6-1 record with a 1.29 ERA and 55 strikeouts. Major League Baseball's number 11 prospect made his bats debut on Thursday against the Iowa Cubs, going 5 1/3 innings, giving up 2 earned runs on 4 hits and striking out 7. On the awards front, Burns and number 3 prospect infielder Sal Stewart's efforts in May earned them the organization's minor league pitcher and player of the month, respectively. Stewart hit .344 for the month with 9 doubles, 12 runs, and 11 RBIs. The Down on the Farm Minor League Report is brought to you by Western and Southern Financial Group. Put their financial strength behind you. Visit westernsouthern.com.
Newman Roofing is proud to sponsor the Fan and 10 TV's Beat the Heat fan drive. Help Ohio's most vulnerable residents deal with the extreme heat this summer. Purchase new box fans and take them to the nearest Franklin County Fire Station or buy online. For more information, go to lifecarealliance.org.
Get summer blockbuster savings at Coughlin Kia, Central Ohio's largest volume Kia dealer. Right now, take up to $6,000 off MSRP on any new Kia in stock. Plus, get free maintenance for a full year when you buy. Get any new Kia with up to $6,000 off MSRP. Visit CoglinKia.com.
Largest Kia dealer based on current ground stock at all 4 Coughlin Kia locations. 2025 Kia Sorento XY. MSRP $47,990. $3,000 Coughlin discount. $3,000 factory rebate. Residency restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. N7725.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT and cybersecurity? Attend classes live, online, or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
Austin and Berm are back with a new daily podcast, the ultimate OSU football insiders. You know, it's refreshing to have some smart people working here from time to time.
The Beat with Austin and Berm on the 10 TV Plus app.
Subscribe today.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, Buckeye Bulletin time. And listen, Ohio State is still basking in the glow of this title, and it's not just for selfish reasons that they won. It's also the conveyor belt of recruiting and really being proactive now when it comes to the new paying your players directly and still the collectives that are involved. And like it, hate it, whatever, we've talked about all sides of it. It's here, and they're leaning into it. And I've said when it first started, I think they slow played it. They didn't really feel they had to, because, and I know I'm a broken record, and I've used this phrase a lot, and I know it's old school and it's dated, but I used to say Ohio State never in their wildest dreams figured they would lose a kid to a checkbook. Like they would lose a kid to money because they're offering stuff that you can put a big price tag on. The coaching, the training, the guidance, the platform, the rivalries, the tradition, all of that. Like they had it all. And so how would they ever imagine, Adam, that they would ever lose a kid to a lesser program? I'm not talking about equals. I'm talking about to a lesser program for money. And they were slow. And by the way, it got them early on. Like it was weird.
Do you know where it got them to? You know where a lot of those guys went? Texas A&M.
Yes.
And do you know who was the athletic director?
Ross Bjork.
The man was ahead of his time there, and I think he's ahead of his time now with the new changes to college athletics.
Well, he wasn't paying them.
Well,
they had...
Yes, but you have to, as an athletic director and as a program, embrace the new change.
Well, and then there's the whole controversy of how devious was it?
Yeah.
Back then. How hiding in plain sight was the money?
I'll say this. I think Ohio State in this new era, which has started, it's 19 days old, is already well far and away leading everybody when it comes to it. And I still don't think that Ohio State is going to lose that many guys due to money. I mean, I find it hard to believe the programs that are giving the money out. Like if Ohio State loses a guy to Miami, it just doesn't hurt as much as it does. You'll lose a guy to Georgia, Alabama, or Texas. Same with USC. I think that there is a thought process there where if you're going to go somewhere else for the money, those somewhere else's typically aren't the programs that you're competing with on a day-to-day basis. Oregon, Ohio State, we've seen win a bunch of battles, even when money was involved. And now with the new rules, I think they'll win more. But so if you're going to lose someone to USC, you're going to lose someone to even a Florida, to a Miami. I don't think, a South Carolina, I don't think those programs are going to have enough money to actually rise up and compete on the same level.
Nico Yamaleava leaves a very competitive program in Tennessee to go to UCLA. Overplayed his hand or felt wronged or felt deceived. I wasn't in the room. I don't know what they promised him.
I was in the room.
And you're in the media. And what he was or wasn't delivered upon, I don't know. But this is the new era we're in, and Ohio State is certainly embracing it. And the recruiting trail has been very busy again. And they added another big piece.
But
they added...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, continue.
2026 linebacker, Sincere Johnson.
Great name.
Sincerely Johnson.
Isn't that a movie? Sincere Johnson? Sincerely Johnson? Maybe Sincerely.
Should be.
Again.
Do you think he signs that he used to sign everything? Sincerely Johnson.
Oh, that's great. We need to ask him that when he gets here. How do you sign cards? Sincerely sincere?
He says the best in Ohio State in Ohio. Can't wait to be a part of the brotherhood. His NIL value, I don't know how anybody knows all this, is reported to be $138,000.
That's pretty normal.
But the talented linebacker could garner a bigger NIL deal as he develops into a key part of Ohio State's defense going forward. Well, that's what it was designed to be.
Yes.
You don't pay them before they're stars. That was my biggest problem with NIL in the beginning. Like, I had no problem. Come here, be a star. Turn yourself into Chris Spielman, Archie Griffin. Become a star. Don't let the corner store sell your jersey with your name on it.
Yeah.
You get the money for that.
That was NIL.
Okay, that was NIL. And so this is now pay them while they're still in high school and hope they're great.
There is still a soundbite out there that Ryan said no less than 2 months ago where he said, if you are first thing on your mind is money, you got the wrong place. And I believe it's true.
Okay, so then I brought up from that, and I do believe that's true. Do you think that he could afford to say that if they didn't win the title and they fell very short of it? Or do you think he would be more tempted to say, to get over the hump, I need that guy, we're going to pay what it costs?
I think that is what's happening right now in Oregon. I think what you're describing is how Oregon was trying, at least up until these new changes, how Oregon was trying to build their program is we'll spend as much money as it takes in order to win a national title. Now, yes, Day has the luxury of saying that because they have won a national title, but believe it or not, I have always thought that's what makes Ohio State different, is that this is a program that is still built on what you're talking about, on tradition, on development.
you're obviously very good friends with William.
I sometimes call him Willie.
If the price wasn't right, is he still coming here? I don't know. You'd like to believe it because of what he got out of it and what he needed out of it. They went out and got him. Not because they were Ohio State. That was a big part of it. But because they were willing to pay what it cost. And I don't know what it cost. But it paid off. It certainly paid off.
They were in a competition with USC. And I think if you watched, I mean, you got to go back a little bit, but USC played in that bowl game. They found they had their backup quarterback playing, and he had a very good bowl game. And I think when you watch that, it was more about opportunity for Will than money. I think Will wanted to go to a place where he could develop and where he could shine in 1 year.
That's great. What I'm asking you is, if it was dwarfing the money that he was offered elsewhere, we'll never know whether he would have chosen here.
If it was
we won't
massively different,
yeah, $500,000.
But it'll never be Miller Moss was his name. It'll never be massively different because Ohio State can compete at that level.
And I'm all for that. But what you're saying is you're still leaning on this 80 to 90%. You love that percentage that guys are coming here just because it's Ohio State.
I think I would argue this. Ohio State is presenting the program as themselves. They're sitting down and they're saying, here are the reasons you should come to Ohio State.
And by the way, there's an incredibly great amount of reasons.
Yes. But
aside from the money.
And they're saying, if you want to come to Ohio State for this reason, we will pay you fair market value for what we think you should get. Now, if another school is going to offer you double that, we are not going to get into a bidding war. Ohio State does not do it. They are too good to do it, and I believe that. So that's my argument.
I think
they will pay the guys what they're worth, but they're not going to get into a bidding war with someone.
I can buy that. I can.
I'm not asking you to buy it, okay?
What I can't buy is that everything becomes so pure just because now they can, because they've won the title. And what I mean by that is they still have to be competitive in the financial arena.
And they will.
And they will be.
And they are.
Right, but you can't say that every great success story is old school and they only came here to be developed and an opportunity. It's everything.
Well, what I'm saying is these guys understand that they are going to get paid what they're worth at Ohio State.
Now they do.
Okay, yes. But they also know that at the end of the day,
you can have it all.
You can have a good amount of money at Ohio State and great NFL development, or you can go somewhere and have a great amount of money now, but maybe the NFL doesn't come a knocking.
Sincerely, Johnson. We'll come back. Top of the hour, SportsCenter update. Is Michigan looking for its next big advantage? We'll tell you next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
Common man, radio veteran, has a large hemorrhoid. Timmy Hall, a good, clean boy, moonlights as man's hemorrhoid. Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan.
The Roofing Guys are your locally owned, trusted family business right here in Central Ohio. They've been hammering quality and service through the roof for over 25 years, offering professional services in roofing, siding, gutters, and more. Contact them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
This just in from the Lindsay Honda Newsroom. It's our big anniversary sale. 0% for up to 60 months has been extended on all new Hondas. Drive a new 2025 CR-V LX all-wheel drive with 0% financing.
Lower your rate, lower your payment.
Save thousands on hundreds of new Hondas when you buy now.
With so many Hondas, why would you go anywhere else?
Shop the big, the beautiful Lindsay Honda now. Visit lindsayhonda.com for details.
A healthy body needs good food. This summer, the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce is sponsoring Sun Meals, a summer food program where kids eat free. Children under 18 receive healthy meals and no sign-up is required. Locations may be right in your neighborhood. Call 1-866-348-6479 or visit education.ohio.gov/kidseat for meal locations and times. That's education.ohio.gov/kidseat.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward here, and I remember the first time I understood that old saying about giving a man a fish. It made so much sense, and I see examples of it all the time. Take the new weight loss meds, for instance. Think about this. You take a shot, you eat less, and you lose weight. But the second you stop, the weight comes back. You never actually changed anything besides eating less of the same bad things. I wasn't interested in renting my results. I wanted to own them. That's why I chose Awaken 180. I needed a lifestyle change, I knew it, and I was excited about it. A medication-free path to long-term weight loss. That's exactly what I got. It's been 1.5 years since I dropped my 50 pounds, and I've kept it all off. Awaken 180 taught me how to adjust my approach to food. A real-time education on how to keep it off while losing the weight. I say, learn how to fish. It's easy, it's fast, and for the long-term bonus, no medications. Do what I did and choose the solution for weight loss. Awaken180weightloss.com, 844-346-1800.
He shoots, he scores! No matter your sport, it's a great time of year to be a fan. But the fun stops when you or a loved one can't control your gambling. At Maryhaven, we're here to help. Whether it's gambling, drugs, alcohol, or mental health, you don't have to go it alone. With in-person, virtual, and group options, Maryhaven meets you where you are. Always judgment-free. Go to maryhaven.com today. That's maryhaven.com.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. They're in the bottom of the fourth inning down at Great American Ballpark. There's been no shortage of runs so far as the Twins lead the Reds 9-4. Byron Buxton has 2 home runs in the game for Minnesota. Nick Martinez gave up 7 runs in 2 1/3 innings for the Reds. They're finally underway over at Huntington Park as they're resuming the game that got suspended last night with the Indianapolis Indians. They just ended the fourth inning. The Indians have taken a 6-5 lead over the Clippers. The Guardians wrapping up their series tonight in San Francisco against the Giants. Actually, that's later this afternoon at 4:05. Gavin Williams versus Logan Webb, the pitching matchup. Game 6 of the NBA Finals tonight at 8:30 with the Pacers hosting the Thunder down 3-2. Pacers guard Tyrese Halliburton, a game-time decision. You can hear it here on The Fan at 8.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's health care.
All right, final hour here on a Thursday. Will Shields Gold Jacket Thursday, 2:30. All-Pro, offensive guard, Kansas City Chiefs. Been in huddles with Marcus Allen, Priest Holmes, Joe Montana. Played in Nebraska under Tom Osborne. Some great years. I think his years were prior to their undefeated years, although they were pretty good. And those rivalries back then makes me sad. Nebraska, Colorado, Nebraska, Oklahoma.
Was it Nebraska, Colorado that was the extra play? They got the extra down. Who was Colorado playing in that game? I thought it was Nebraska.
I think that's Missouri.
Missouri.
That's the
fifth down.
The fifth down.
The fifth down.
Yeah.
I apologize.
90?
I was incorrect.
Colorado got the fifth down.
They did. They got the fifth down on Missouri.
Come on, man. You worked in Cape.
I did used to. You called it Cape.
He doesn't remember things when he was a year old like you do.
Yeah, I don't remember my brother's baptism, okay? Some of us aren't.
Doesn't remember bumming that smoke on the airplane when he was 2.
That I remember. Really jolted me.
You brought this actually to the table today.
And
which is amazing.
It fires me up. I thought it was fake at first. You want me to?
My brother got on a thing this past weekend.
Happens all the time.
He said to me on Saturday or I can't remember what Saturday, I think, hey, did you see that Andy Reid's retiring? I go, well, I didn't get any notification on that. Not personally, but I mean on my phone.
Yeah.
And I've talked to Andy Reid. Gong.
Oh, man.
And guess what else? I've talked to the fake Andy Reid.
Oh, you've talked to
both.
The Modern Family.
Oh, no, I don't know who played the fake Andy Reid at Radio Row.
Stone Street. I'm sorry.
And then I emailed it off to my family in Kansas City for my uncle's birthday because I had the fake Andy Reid wish him a happy birthday.
Oh, that's cool.
And they all thought it was the real one.
That's pretty cool.
And I never said anything.
But they're listening right now, and they're
not listening.
They're all crushed.
Why would they do that? And that's awesome.
You ready for this? I was once in the Chiefs locker room after they won an AFC championship.
Well, I was in the Chiefs locker room after they won a Super Bowl. So I just Tim one up me. Okay. I just did that to you.
There's a line from the other guys I want to say, but I'm not allowed to say on air. I'll say it off air. It's a tease. For nobody.
All right, AFC title.
Anyway, any AFC title. And I look to my right, and who else it is but Paul Rudd. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Paul Rudd. And
Not
so
bad.
I go to take a picture of him because I'm not trying to bug him.
With him or of him?
No, of him. I'm not
That's a little weird.
Well, what? To say like, hey, Ma, look, it's Paul Rudd. You love Paul Rudd.
All right.
Yeah, so I just go to take a picture of him, and he's talking to somebody, and all of a sudden, I snap the photo, and I go back to my interview because I'm interviewing somebody. And so then I get in the car, and I'm going through my photos, and I look at the photo, and guess what? He had seen me taking the picture. He looked over and pointed and gave me the thumbs up. He's like, he's doing like a...
Well, why didn't you know that when you were taking the picture?
Because I was listening to the guys just go click and like listening to
it was like a multitask?
It was a multitask. I was in a scrum, and I'm like, it's Paul William Rudd. I don't know that that's his middle name. I assume
he wasn't going to be there when you were
Well, I
gone?
I don't know.
Right.
Maybe they would escort him out. I don't know.
Yeah. The odds of his nickname or his middle name being William are very probably thin.
Stephen.
Stephen?
Yeah, I was gonna say. All right, so give me this Michigan story.
All right, so Michigan. We've had all these rules to college football, right? Everything has changed. The world is changing. Well, Michigan introduces bill to ban reporting NIL deals to NCAA and stop schools from assisting in investigation.
Isn't it the whole point of this new era to have a little bit of a watchdog?
Yes. The whole point is the new clearinghouse. This would make it so Michigan did not have to report to a clearinghouse. And let me just say this. Kudos to Michigan. Because, for the last 4 years, all we've talked about is how they cheated behind everybody's back, won a national title, did all this shady stuff. And you know what they said this time around? We're going to do it up front. We're going to try to cheat right in front of your face, and we don't care who cares about it. This is who we are. This is our culture.
I actually think the Stallion stuff was more in your face, sideline stuff. This is, to me, they want the ability to pay guys more than what they're allotted, I guess, from the money, maybe. Although I still don't have
They just don't want to follow the new rules. All the new rules they don't want to follow.
Or they want guys to be paid for non-approved NIL stuff.
The whole point of the new NIL rule is you can't pay your players a deal from a business without going through the clearinghouse, which is Deloitte, with this, anything over $600 has to be approved.
What about Touche? Are they involved?
Touche?
Yeah, Deloitte and Touche.
Deloitte and
said
Touche.
just Deloitte.
Just Deloitte.
They're going on this on their just.
You know what I thought was interesting?
You don't need Touche?
No, you don't need Touche.
Okay.
I thought it was interesting. Deloitte also had the bunker cam at the U.S. Open. I thought, boy, Deloitte's doing everything. They're shaping college football and showing me how guys hit out of sand. But this is, and I saw a Michigan fan say, "Hey, this isn't us. This is the House that's presenting this. This isn't us." Well, listen, and you listen here, Michigan fan. When somebody presented a law that you couldn't plant the flag on the middle of the field, that wasn't an Ohio State person. That was just some random guy in the State House. But everybody attacked the Buckeyes. Had nothing to do with the Buckeyes. When somebody presented the noon law, where you can't have noon games in a top 10 game, everybody attacked Ohio State. It wasn't Ohio State that presented that. So you know what? I have had enough of Michigan fans and backpedaling from what they initially said. This is ridiculous. It took Michigan it took them a week and a half to try to circumvent the new rules in college football. Something's got to get in line up there in Ann Arbor.
But they have still their championship that they probably would have done this 10 times out of 10. I think it's laughable that the House versus NCAA settlement starts actually at $600. That's laughable.
Well,
that any NIL deal worth $600 or more needs to comply. Like, first of all,
I will say
I don't even know why. I don't know how you can judge an NIL deal.
You can't.
Based on what you think is worthy or not. Now, I'm not talking about the product. The product is okay. Not going to get any NIL deals for tobacco and alcohol and probably stuff. But I'm talking about a regular deal. What's to say, who's to say that the value that you're paying for is not worth it if you think it is? Now, I know that sounds like that's the way to cheat about it. It's kind of like back in the day where you'd pay a guy to turn the sprinklers on and they're automatic. So I understand that this is just the new evolution of this, but I don't even know.
You cannot, in a capitalist society, tell somebody how much they're worth, how much an autograph is worth, how much an appearance is worth. If Rothman, if you could have Taylor Swift on this show and you had to pay her $100,000, that's not an insane thing to get Taylor Swift on this show. But so you're going to tell me the clearinghouse can say, no, that's ridiculous, that's too much? It's insane. It's ridiculous.
I don't even have a full grasp yet on.
I do. Ask me anything.
The $20.5 million or the 18, whatever, the $18.5 million. And then the collectives, where they are still in this process. And because this made it sound like, to the average person who doesn't follow this very closely, is that the schools will pay the players directly, and that'll be it. And they can only use up to $18.5 million. Like, that's the way they made it sound.
Yeah.
Like, to get their arms around this thing, they were salary capping everything, and that the schools would be in charge, and they'd have to go through a third party to make sure everything's on the up and up. And it sounded good. It sounded like they were putting some guardrails on it. But now it has this feeling of that it's still uncontrollable. And this is a weird way to attack it, in that you want to be able to just bypass the third party.
It reminds me of this Little Caesars commercial where the guy walks into Little Caesars and it's $5 pizza. There are no rules. He takes his shirt off and somebody says, put your shirt back on. There's one rule. That's how it feels. Michigan, put your shirt back on. There's rules to this. Get in line.
Wow. That is good. That's a great story.
That was one of my worst stories of the day, I will be honest. Do you think Cole's been here this segment? I haven't heard from him.
No shirt, no shoes, no dice.
I'm worried about
That's
him.
what it should have said. We're going to come back. Is this team just different than all the others, and how we're going to judge them? Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
It's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, I got the nicest Google review today. Dewey from Gehanna said, "We cannot believe we are able to get the Pella look and quality at the cost we did."
I got a review too. Listen to this. These windows were great. Oh boy, for about a year. Looks like I'll need to renew in quotes for some reason. My window's way too soon. Repeat customer?
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Working your way through that honey-do list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing and drain cleanings and repairs and all your heating and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your furnace or air conditioner. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain cleaning? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing issues? Call the Waterworks. Furnace repairs? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks, trusted neighborhood plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Many drugs, like cocaine, methamphetamine, and non-prescription pills, are often cut with dangerous opioids like fentanyl. As a result, nearly 14 Ohioans die daily from unintentional overdoses. That's why it's important to carry naloxone, such as Narcan, a life-saving medication that blocks the effects of fentanyl and other opioids. Over the last 5 years, naloxone has saved over 83,000 lives. Help save lives and visit naloxone.ohio.gov to learn more and find free naloxone. Remember, if you see an overdose occurring, always call 911.
Common Man here. I want to talk to you about my buddy Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. It's rare that a business comes along and offers you such great quality, service, price. If you or someone you love or like, or even strangers on the street tell you they need a jeweler, tell them you got a guy, and that guy is Bob Capace at Worthington Jewelers.
I'm Bob Capace, and I'm your guy.
Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington, worthingtonjewelers.com, where Columbus gets engaged.
Hey, it's Anthony from my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. Summer savings, Rich is backing it up. He has rates as low as 0% and leases starting from $249 a month. How about a 25 Honda HR-V LX CVT two-wheel drive? Lease it for only $259 a month. 36 months, 30,000 miles with only $30.39 down. And all trades deserve a sweetener. He's giving you an extra $1,000 for yours. See them for all the details. Germain Honda of Dublin, Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
Master Grillers Unite.
The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated.
Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't let bad feet stop you from being active and getting healthy this year. Trade in your bad feet for good feet at the Good Feet store.
The Buckeyes are national champions. And you listen to it all right here on The Fan. And next year when they do it again, it'll be here on The Fan. And the year after that, well, you know the drill. Always and forever, your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan.
Got a teen athlete? Then you know putting in the hours is all part of the game. But did you know the same goes for learning how to drive? Because just like playing a sport, learning to drive takes practice. The only difference is the stakes are even higher. 50 hours of practice time driving with you? Worth every minute. Gear up at teachyourteentodrive.ohio.gov.
Did you know 38% of Ohio's teenagers have spent money on gambling in video and online games? Items like mystery boxes, skins, and spin to win mimic gambling, putting children at a higher risk of experiencing a gambling disorder as an adult. So get in the know about youth gambling and start the conversation with discussion guides, parent resources, and more at changethegameohio.org. That's changethegameohio.org.
When you join the Plus side with AAA, that's all you'll have to do. Or you could learn to change your own tire.
Hey fam, what's up? Today I'm gonna teach you to change a flat. Before we start, make sure it's not raining, or hailing, or lightning.
You can have AAA find you the right insurance policy, or you can shop for your own.
Hello?
I'm with Mega Insure. You requested a quote?
Yes, 3 months ago.
You could have our travel advisors plan your dream vacation, or book your own travel.
Woo! Panama City Beach! Spring break!
I thought you said we were going to Panama.
Wait, there's a difference?
Skip the hard work. On the Plus side, get more with AAA. Go to AAA.com/plus side.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see scattered showers and thunderstorms again, mainly in the first half of the afternoon. And then as we go into the evening, we should see a lot drier conditions. Afternoon highs in the upper 70s with breezy winds. And then for tonight, it will be cooler, a lot more comfortable with lows in the 60s. And for Friday, we end the work week with plenty of sunshine and our highs getting in the mid to upper 80s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Free Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, a little Bet365 time, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Sign up now. New customers get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Bet365, the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. I did get my Taj Bradley yesterday, going way under the outs. He actually got absolutely crushed. Maddie went big. The +9 and change on Shohei and Judge hitting going yard. I think they were combined 0 for 8. So, in his words, they're now due. So maybe now is the chance to get them. And the payoff that needs to happen is this. I got a tweet over the weekend during the U.S. Open on Sunday that my boy Trev here had tweeted, are you Nostradamus? Because of the Terrell Hatton call on Friday. So this is what I'm going to write him back. If what you mean by Nostradamus as jinxing Hatton into a meltdown and crapping on my J.J. Spawn pick on Friday, yes, he is Nostradamus.
I will say, on Friday, when we did the Bet365 segment, Terrell Hatton was 7,000. His odds were 7,000 plus 7,000. That's not great. And I said, if you're looking for someone to go out there,
70 to 1.
$10 to win 700. I said, if you're looking for somebody, go to Terrell Hatton. He was in the middle of the pack. He didn't even look like he was going to make the cut. I said, I like him. Book it, and let's ride. And then the weekend happened, and here came Hatton. Just a chugging along, making putt after putt after putt. Pars win at the U.S. Open, and he was doing it. And then he got to the easiest hole on the course.
Doing it
leading
well.
the tournament. Got to the drivable par 4 17. And what does he do?
Meltdown.
He throws it all away. He whiffed on a shot, hit it into the grass.
To pay off the bet on Friday, which was that you claimed, which is the great irony of all this, that you're crapping on the eventual winner by saying that J.J. Spawn was going to shoot his temperature, basically, on Friday. And I took the under on his second round.
Mm-hmm.
And he did come in slightly under. It wasn't great.
It wasn't great.
And you set up the rules that the winner was going to get to choose an item on the other guy's desk.
That is accurate.
To keep. I was a little reluctant on it, so I don't know if you're really supposed to pay this off or not. How do you feel about it?
Because I lost, I think I'm reluctant to pay it off. If I had won, I would have
spotted
won.
some things there.
Okay, what would you like? Right, you got
a lot of what I call trinkets and trash.
Trinkets. Whoa!
Right?
Whoa!
So
my desk is full of cool things.
The trinket that I think I want, and you can decide whether you want to donate it to my charity outing. I'm really pulling the heartstrings now for the animals. Is that crystal skull you got with the puck?
I knew
from
you were
the
going to come
Stadium
for that.
Series.
I knew you were going to come for that.
It's not a game used, but there's game used ice inside the puck.
It is from the Stadium Series game at the Shoe. It's crystal, and it's got water now, which was once ice. When they melted down the ice at the Stadium Series, they put it in this puck.
Indiana Rothman and the Kingdom of the Crystal Puck, and it should probably go to me.
I will say this.
For the outing. I would not put it on my desk. I would actually put it in the outing, a bunch of other Stadium Series stuff that I acquired.
I will
think about it.
I will give it to you for the outing.
You're going to pay it off?
I'm going to pay it off.
Now, that's a man with integrity.
I will pay it off.
Like that, folks. You can win big, too. Maybe something off of Adam's desk.
There you go.
By signing up at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 or older only, must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
Where did that come from?
So let me ask you this. We'll have Will Shields on next. We do have a giveaway that we did not say. We didn't tease it, but I like doing this because, you know, I have affection for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. What do we have today that we could give away right now? Not off your desk, but something maybe better.
Well, get ready to kick off the NFL season August 1st at 8 p.m. as the Chicago Bears take on the Houston Texans in the Hall of Fame game. Winner gets 2 tickets to next week's game. The game takes place at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio. Tickets available at profootballhof.com/tickets.
Next week.
That's what it says in the... Winner gets 2 tickets to next week's game. This is what you wrote, Cole. What are you, an intern?
Did you just read that? You couldn't navigate that?
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Pasted
My
what I was saying.
Didn't you tell him before he read it in the break that there may be some typos?
It says get ready to
He
kick
dodged
off.
the typo I did warn him about.
Yeah. I dodged the one he warned, but I'm Ron Burgundy. I don't know.
Well, maybe they want to get there early, get good parking.
Get good parking.
Kind of like
exactly.
Wally World.
Exactly.
First in, last out. All right, let's do this. If you were listening to this segment, God bless you, because we put you through the ringer. We all talked about our time, kind of off the Shedeur Sanders stuff. Talked about our times either getting pulled over, and then it turned into accidents. And there's one guy of all 4 of us, Bake, TLC, you and me, that's been in the most accidents, driving and a passenger.
Not pants-wise.
That too.
I've had a lot of those.
Give me the number. 821-9710 is the number. 821-9710. Tell TLC how many accidents combined that Adam King has been involved in, and he'll give you the tickets. Up next in 2 minutes, Will Shields on a Gold Jacket Thursday. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Get Eco.
ECO. Hey, Jerry, I think I invented something. Does it solve a problem? It solves a big problem.
Get Eco.
ECO. Heating and cooling companies are telling people your furnace and AC isn't worth fixing. You need to replace it with a whole new system.
You invented a solution for that?
I invented a way to fix those systems for free.
Get Eco.
ECO.
That's a great invention. How does it work?
Step 1 is to pay Eco to fix it.
I thought you said you'd fix it for free.
Step 2 is that we give you back all the money that you paid us, up to $1,500 when you get Eco to replace it.
Get Eco.
ECO.
What if your repair keeps my system running for several more years?
That would mean you got all those extra years for free.
Paying Eco to fix your AC system is like putting money in the bank.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
Get Eco.com.
Common Man here. Let me tell you something. I'm on these Germain interoffice emails. At Germain Lexus, during the month of June, they've challenged themselves to sell more cars than they ever have in 1 month. What does that mean? Well, I'm stupid, but to me, that means they're willing to deal, baby. And the memorial cars are on the lot. The ones the golfers drive for the tournament are now available to you. I have been a Germain customer for years, even before I started doing the commercials. If you're in the market, please stop in. Germain Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, GermainLexus.com.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Gold Jacket Thursday.
Presented by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
All right, welcome into another Gold Jacket Thursday. Such an honor to talk to this man. He was a third-round pick out of Nebraska, then spent 14 years in the trenches, all with the Kansas City Chiefs from 93 to 06. He became one of the best offensive guards in pro football history, 12 straight Pro Bowls. In fact, he started 223 games of the 224 he played, never missed a game, Class of 2015 into Canton, we welcome in Will Shields. Will, welcome.
Thank you. How's everything going, man?
We're doing great down here in Columbus. Thrilled to have you aboard. Let's walk down memory lane a little bit and your years at Nebraska under Tom Osborne. And it's funny because, I mean, you had some very, very good years. And the one thing I remember, and correct me if I'm wrong, were you the one that they called the fumble Ruski for versus Colorado?
Yes, sir.
Was that your last year?
No, 92. Yeah, so it was close to my last year.
I mean, of all the plays, so talk to me about that. Did you run it in practice? Had you run it previously? You knew it was coming right then? What was going through your mind? Listen, you're going up against a massive rival. You're finally trying to take them down, and they call this fumble Ruski for you. What are you thinking?
Well, first of all, you're in that aha moment, like, what? Are you kidding me? We've been practicing this for weeks, and you're actually going to call it in the game. And we're like, okay, it's a night game, and we're having a good game. And so I was like, okay, go ahead, give me a chance to pick up the ball and run with it. And, of course, it wasn't perfect, but got an opportunity to pick it up and rumble for about 15, which was pretty cool. Anytime you get an opportunity to touch the ball as a big guy, it's exciting, it's cool. It's something that will not happen that many times unless it's a true fumble across the board. But, when he called it, the eyes got really big, and I was like, okay, here we go. We're going to try to run this play.
Yeah, of all the great things you did. And I loved those rivalries, and I'm wondering in your mind, are you sad about that? Is it upsetting that some of these rivalries have gone away? Nebraska, Colorado, Nebraska, Oklahoma. I think Kansas was decent around your time, and they are again. Is it upsetting to you? I know you're part of that old Big 8 and way back when, but now with all the realignment, Nebraska being in the Big 10, how does that hit you?
Yeah, it changes everything. I mean, you think about all the things that you used to build up, and, the rivalries of playing the teams in your area to be able to say, hey, there's recruiting grounds also means that you got a chance to play against a lot of the kids that you grew up with, because they all went to school somewhere there in the Big 8 at that point. So you got this visit and play against teammates, which was even more of the rivalry piece of building it in. But you do miss those times where you did have the big rivalry games back and forth of where you knew you were going to face these teams so many times, within your career. And that gave you the opportunity to try to win and be able to go home with bragging rights. With me being a kid from Oklahoma, getting a chance to go home and go, we did play you guys, and we did take you out and beat you up a little bit. Those kind of things always was a lot of fun.
Talking with the 12-time Pro Bowler Will Shields, the guard out of the Kansas City Chiefs, all those great years. He's back in Canton and doing some great things this weekend in football heaven. So Marty Schottenheimer had it cooking your first handful of years. Big wins, some heartbreaking playoff losses, and then he resigns under great emotional strain. How did that time affect you?
It was a tough time when you start having a coach that drafts you and bring you in and takes you under his wing and give you the opportunity to play at the next level. When he retires and moves on to do other things. Actually, he ended up, didn't he coach in San Diego a couple of years after that? And we ended up having Gunther Cunningham for a year, and then they went to Vermeil after that, and then from Vermeil to Herm. So we had a couple of different changes at that point and trying to figure out where we were trying to go and trying to go out to actually, it was more or less the playoffs / Super Bowl wins, and it's interesting when you have different coaches that's been there and fight their way to get there and have been there before, and they sort of give you a roadmap. And that was really cool, the interesting things. But Marty is a great dude. He had that tough mentality, and he distilled that into us, and that's how we played when he was there. And, he was a great leader.
What do you believe the impact of Dick Vermeil was?
Coach Vermeil had his philosophy was similar to Marty's, but it was sort of flipped. He was an offensive-minded guy that believed you could go ahead and score 30, 40 points and win. On the other hand, where, Marty was more defensive-oriented. So I had a blast playing for both, and I think, some of the real fun about having Coach Vermeil is the way that he cultivated his team, and he cultivated around him and made it more of a family atmosphere. And, you know, he wanted you to be around the stadium as long as you wanted to, you know, made it more of a home away from home for those guys that, you know, hadn't set up shop in Kansas City. And I think that's what made it unique for the different styles, where one was like, go home, get out of here, do this. And he's one of those guys that were like, hey, man, you can stay till midnight if you want to. Just, you know, if you're studying a little film, if you're getting a little work in while you're doing it, that would be great. But he believed in working a long time, long hours, and believed putting it in on the field. Both coaches were the same way, 2.5, 3 hour long practices, a lot of hitting, getting your body ready. We call it tenderizing the muscles so that you get used to a long season. And they were both that way. It's just one believed in more offensive oriented and the other one believed in defense, which, you know, made it interesting to be able to say I've played for coaches that are on both sides of the spectrum, and they both did great things.
Visiting with the former 3-time first-team All-Pro, 2000s All-Decade team. If my numbers are correct, you started actually 231 straight games, if I include the playoffs, at the right guard position. You never missed a game. What do you attribute your durability to, and how close were you at times to missing a game?
Well, some of that's luck. Some of that's being mentally unstable. Being that guy that basically I wanted to be accountable. I wanted to be there for my guys. I wanted to be a part of the group. I love the game, you know, and I think that's one thing that made it more important for me to love the game and be around the guys. And there was some weeks that, you know, I'm looking at it going, yeah, I don't think I'm going to make it this week. And at that point, you have a teammate that, you know, pulls you along and goes, no, we need you. It's time to go. I'd rather have you next to me halfway than have you, you know, even if you're not 100%.
Was there a specific injury, like the toughest one you felt you had to play through?
I had one that I had an ankle that was pretty bad, and I had to play through it. That was pretty tough. But I actually had things, I don't know if it's called drop hip, where I'd start to warm up, and my muscles would tighten up on my right side, and my leg would go numb. It's like I couldn't move it. So I was going out for pre-practice Wednesday and Thursday, and I couldn't go because I'd go out and start running and warming up, and it would just lock up on me. So then I ended up getting carted off and going to get treatment and try to figure out what's next. And then the day before, actually it was on a Friday, I go to the chiropractor, and he goes, hey, man, I'm going to reset your nervous system. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, take a laser, put it behind your head, and next thing you know, I could feel the muscles on the right side of my right side of my body relax. And I was like, okay, I think this is working. So it's really using a combination of different people, places, and things that sort of kept you pushing back and getting you on the field. But that was really a game I didn't think I was going to make it. We were playing Atlanta, and I didn't think I was going to make it because, you know, after you start warming up, the body just shut down on that whole right side.
Wow. That's incredible and incredibly impressive. All right, we are talking with Will Shields. He is the Pro Football Hall of Famer in Canton this weekend. You get to Kansas City, and there's, I believe, 37-year-old Joe Montana still doing it. Did he get on you guys a lot verbally?
No. Joe did not get on us at all. He was, you know, he's one of those guys that when he walked in the huddle and he said these words, I'm going to need a little time, you knew something was going to happen. He saw something that we didn't see. And he was never a guy to yell and scream at anyone about, you know, routes or this, that, and the other. He was a guy in the huddle, man. He was truly a teammate. And it was really cool because sometimes you show up places and he would be in those places like sitting in the corner and getting some food or whatever. And it was like, dang, is that Joe over in the corner? He's hiding under a hat. And he's like, dude, come over here and be quiet, sit down.
That's a good story.
So he would just include you, man. You know, he was just that guy that would do anything for the team and he just loved to win, which is one of the coolest things to be around.
I think a name that some young people would not know and maybe that they should know is Priest Holmes. And a lot of people, and I've watched a lot of football my whole life, and you can go through running backs, and you can name Walter Payton, Barry Sanders, Adrian Peterson. You go through all of them, Jim Brown. You go through all these great running backs. And I think that Priest Holmes is just a name that should be mentioned more. What was it like to block for him? And do you feel like he is maybe the most underrated guy around?
I think he's one of those guys that, you know, that most people don't know what he did within the years he had to play. With a guy that had two major injuries, one at the beginning of his career, which, was the Super Bowl year for the Baltimore Ravens, that vaulted Lewis into being the running back. And then he came to us after that and basically, had the chip on the shoulder and wanted to prove that, hey, I am a great running back. And we didn't even know what we had until, the Washington game. And then we were like, wow, we got this guy. He's unreal. And he had a motor and a passion for the game. And, dude, he went 100% even in practice, which was one of those things that was phenomenal to watch. And, yeah, he is definitely one of those guys that should be in the breath of, those famous running backs that we all know of.
That 3-year run, 01, 02, 03, it was about as dominant as any 3-year run that ever happened in history of the NFL. You're back in pro football heaven. You are a Pro Football Hall of Famer. Tell me a little bit about what you're looking forward to this weekend, being back up in Canton. And was your career everything you dreamed that it would be or more?
Well, it's good to be here back in Canton. I love it. It's a great place to be. We've already started with our feet on the ground running. We just did a football camp with those offensive linemen. I had about 30 guys. Got a chance to bring the coaches out and talk about blocking schemes and, get back dirty again, get your hand in the sand, as we call it, and show different guys different techniques that you might know, and then learn things from them of what they're doing today. And really just to be a part of the community is always important. So we'll make appearances around, especially being here back in this time of the year. Juneteenth is just rolling the day. So to build out those things are really cool. And then, as we move forward at the end of this year, we get to do our first honors award for offensive lineman of the year.
That's right.
So that's going to be really cool. I'm excited to be a part of that committee. And to be able to say, hey, man, our big guys are finally getting a little love in the NFL.
Well deserved, my man. We'll soak it up this weekend. So glad you're back in Canton. We'll send the fans to you, and they won't be able to miss you. You'll be the guy in the gold jacket forever.
Well, thanks, man.
Thanks, my man.
I appreciate it. You have a great one.
You too. Will Shields, 6'3", 320, out of Nebraska, third rounder, turned himself into a Hall of Famer. He was placed into the lineup in his very first NFL game after there was an injury to a starting left guard. I think it was Dave Zott. And the next week, they shuffled the lines, and he was inserted on the right side, and he started every single game from that point through his retirement in 2006. You want to talk about taking advantage of a chance, of an opportunity. He did that. Will Shields, pretty outstanding offensive lineman, helped anchor those Chiefs teams that were potent offensively. Stopped by the Colts a couple of times, made some big playoff runs, but what a career he had. He'll be up in Canton at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Do we have a winner of the ticket giveaway, TLC, that knew that Adam King has been in 10 vehicle accidents, many that he's probably caused?
Jack on the north side of Columbus.
Jack, well done. Hope you enjoy the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Remember, the game isn't next week or in 2 weeks. It's in August. First weekend. I'll be there as always. We'll come back with Tell the Truth, Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Many drugs, like cocaine, methamphetamine, and non-prescription pills, are often cut with dangerous opioids like fentanyl. As a result, nearly 14 Ohioans die daily from unintentional overdoses. That's why it's important to carry naloxone, such as Narcan, a life-saving medication that blocks the effects of fentanyl and other opioids. Over the last 5 years, naloxone has saved over 83,000 lives. Help save lives and visit naloxone.ohio.gov to learn more and find free naloxone. Remember, if you see an overdose occurring, always call 911.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Swing by Germain Toyota and ask for Marcello and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit them at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
A healthy body needs good food. This summer, the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce is sponsoring Sun Meals, a summer food program where kids eat free. Children under 18 receive healthy meals and no sign-up is required. Locations may be right in your neighborhood. Call 1-866-348-6479 or visit education.ohio.gov/kidseat for meal locations and times. That's education.ohio.gov/kidseat.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward here, and I remember the first time I understood that old saying about giving a man a fish. It made so much sense, and I see examples of it all the time. Take the new weight loss meds, for instance. Think about this. You take a shot, you eat less, and you lose weight. But the second you stop, the weight comes back. You never actually changed anything besides eating less of the same bad things. I wasn't interested in renting my results. I wanted to own them. That's why I chose Awaken 180. I needed a lifestyle change, I knew it, and I was excited about it. A medication-free path to long-term weight loss. That's exactly what I got. It's been a year and a half since I dropped my 50 pounds, and I've kept it all off. Awaken 180 taught me how to adjust my approach to food. A real-time education on how to keep it off while losing the weight. I say, learn how to fish. It's easy, it's fast, and for the long-term bonus, no medications. Do what I did and choose the solution for weight loss. Awaken180weightloss.com, 844-346-1800.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
Newman Roofing is proud to sponsor the Fan and 10 TV's Beat the Heat Fan Drive. Help Ohio's most vulnerable residents deal with the extreme heat this summer. Purchase new box fans and take them to the nearest Franklin County Fire Station or buy online. For more information, go to lifecarealliance.org.
Tee to Green with Skip Mosick.
Saturday, we'll talk course design with Doctors Michael and Chris Herdzin, plus Ron Syrak on this week's Women's PGA Championship in Texas.
Tee to Green with Skip Mosick. Saturday mornings at 9 on The Fan.
Men, the summer is here. Longer days, warmer nights, and romance in the air. Intimate dinners, walks on the beach, dancing in the moonlight. But if you have erectile dysfunction, you know it can ruin romance, both for you and the one you love. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if you have ED, don't let another summer go by without getting treated. Because intimacy is one of the greatest things in life. And fear of not being able to perform should not be something you have to deal with. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated tens of thousands of men. Our protocols work when others don't, and we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. You could even last up to an hour or more and perform like you haven't in years. And for a limited time, we're offering new patients a free first visit to help you get back to feeling like the man you're meant to be. This includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 2 convenient Columbus area locations in Hilliard and Westerville.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
You're listening to Rothman and Ice on 97.1 The Fan.
Well done, Al. Well done. All right. Talking to you guys out there. Father's Day's come and gone, but, you know, summer's here. You should be healthy, you should have energy, live your best life. And Low T Center is offering right now free weight loss consultations, free T-test as kind of a special offer celebrating dads, even past Father's Day. The treatment will be personalized to them, to you if you're a guy out there listening. They accept most major insurance. They'll verify that for you. And then if you start the process and they'll guide you through it, you'll have the freedom to choose in-center care or at-home treatment, so the convenience is there. And you're really helping yourself or dad or a loved one or a friend kind of control his health. And from now until the 21st, enjoy a free B12 shot when you stop in for TRT and weight loss. The offer is limited. Book now at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Now buy 4 windows, get 4 free. Plus a free entry door with a house of windows. Visit windownation.com.
All right, TLC, first of all, did our winner, Jack, know the exact number of accidents? Did he nail it at 10?
He did say 10.
Wow.
Okay. I didn't have to...
He does know Jack.
Give any grace.
Jack talked high.
You think it was Jack Nicholas?
Jack Nicholas?
Yeah.
he can go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame whenever he wants. I don't think he needs to win tickets. But
he's not calling into local radio.
You don't think that he's sitting by his phone waiting?
Listen, Adam. If I want to go to Canton and go up there and eyeball Terrence Bradshaw, Francis Tarkenton, and all the guys, Barton Starr, I can do it. Some kind of a long journey, though.
Terrence
From
Bradshaw
Florida
is a first.
I've
never. You're right. That's his name.
I know.
I've never heard him called Terrence.
Did that?
Those guys are not in his league.
That's right.
What a statement that was. All right, tell the truth. What's to tell the truth?
All right. Adam, you're on trial here.
Uh-oh.
Bartlett Star, I meant to say, not Barton.
So we
Bartlett
saw...
Star. Starlet. Bart.
Like President Bartlett from West Wing.
Sorry, go ahead.
Thank you. So we saw Sincere Johnson commit to Ohio State earlier. That is
true. That is true. Yes.
That was
he signed his commitment, Sincerely Johnson.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
What a name.
He committed in the 12 o'clock hour.
Unreliable Adam. That's
in the 2 o'clock hour. A guy who Ohio State was in on, Luke Waffle. Great name,
Luke.
Sincere and Waffle would have been good together.
So where's Waffle in your guys? You asked me about a crepe earlier.
Yeah, do you like
crepes?
crepes?
I said I maybe prefer a blintz.
What's a blintz?
And you said, I don't know what a blintz is. And I thought, that's odd. It's just kind of a rolled pancake with some things. Go ahead. Continue.
Okay.
It's got jelly in it and things. And go ahead.
So it looks good. A blintz looks good.
Go ahead.
So, this time you mean it. Ohio State and USC were going back and forth. Luke Waffle commits to USC.
Luke Waffle. It's an amazing name. It's so good.
Yesterday, or I should say 2 days ago, there was a prediction made by one of these On3 experts for Luke Waffle to come to Ohio State. Then yesterday, he went back. The same guy, I think it's like Steve Wiltfong or whatever, but we got some great last names here. He goes back and he adjusts his own prediction.
Did you just try to compare Waffle to Wiltfong? Waffle is so much better.
Okay, I'm not that committed to it. Whatever. But
really trying to J.C. Sheldon him, aren't you?
Yeah,
really
get him fired up.
I am so flustered right now because there's so many starts and stops to this story. I'm trying to make Adam King look bad. Let me continue.
Of a breakfast food, what would it be?
Pancake.
Pancake?
Yeah. Adam Pancake.
The makeup? Go ahead. I think.
Go ahead for the ninth.
How many times have I been interrupted just to be told go ahead?
All right.
He wears on me.
I won't say another word until you ask the question.
Here is the gist. Okay, the guy who predicted him to go to USC flips his prediction for him to then go to Ohio State, and we're going back and forth. And then the report after Waffle officially is now committed to USC. Anthony Rothman, are you okay?
I'm okay. I just got a tweet. Somebody said,
"Here is
Morning Glory Muffin." If that was an athlete's name, Morning Glory Muffin. It would be the greatest name in the history of sports. Go ahead.
That's pretty great.
Go ahead.
The classic go ahead. Thank you.
The classic go ahead. All right.
Here's what this is all coming to.
Crumb buns. Go ahead.
This is great.
Cold Danish.
I've never seen him this mad.
I know. Sorry, go ahead.
Big guy?
Adam?
It's all yours.
Here's the report. I'm trying to be informative. Usually I just crack jokes. I'm trying for once to be informative as I read somebody else's information that they did and I did not do. Here's the point. Over the past 48 hours, as we're trying to figure out who's he going to go to, USC, Ohio State, USC, Ohio State, it is reported that both teams were upping their NIL package within the past 48 hours, basically bidding against one another. So, does that cancel out Adam King's argument that Ohio State is not the place to get into bidding wars for NIL?
No.
Which he literally made during the Buckeye Bulletin 1 hour ago.
No, because you're talking about a bidding war.
Yes.
A bidding war would entail that they both went back and forth multiple times, and Ohio State gave everything to get this kid. Do I think that he went and said, hey, USC offered me this much, and they probably said, hey, okay, we can give you a little bit more if that's what you want? Yeah, it's like a car. I mean, it's like when you're buying a car. But what I'm saying is Ohio State is not going to get into a discussion where they are just going back and forth with a college to try to get a guy. They're not going to do it.
I feel like that's fairly accurate, unless he's just
Unless you're talking about
talent,
the greatest
highest character.
Yes.
And it's not you're not faulting him for trying to get more because we know he's worth it, that kind of deal.
Yeah.
All right. Our podcast is sponsored by Bet365. And you can listen to that anytime you like. Mr. King?
This has been a pleasure.
Been a business doing pleasure with you.
It's been a business doing pleasure.
We'll talk to you tomorrow at high noon. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
The radio couldn't contain us, so we've taken over YouTube. Catch Morning Juice weekday mornings at 6 by searching 971 The Fan. Do it.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Right now, Heritage Farm boneless chicken breasts are on sale for just $2.49 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
When sudden illness or injury strike, Ohio State offers 3 types of urgent care to meet any of your needs. From traditional urgent care to our specialized orthopedic urgent care for activity-related injuries and advanced urgent care for more serious injury and illness. Ohio State's experts treat everything from broken bones to ear infections and colds and flu. When your illness or injury can't wait, the choice is clear.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived, the only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Don't settle for ordinary this summer when adventure awaits. Make memories that will last forever only at your Columbus Zoo and Aquarium, Central Ohio's family destination for fun. Plan your perfect summer trip at columbuszoo.org.
This just in from the Lindsay Honda Newsroom. It's our big anniversary sale. 0% for up to 60 months has been extended on all new Hondas. Try the new 2025 CR-V LX all-wheel drive with 0% financing.
Lower your rate, lower your payment.
Save thousands on hundreds of new Hondas when you buy now.
With so many Hondas, why would you go anywhere else?
Shop the big, the beautiful Lindsay Honda now. Visit lindsayhonda.com for details.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we're here to help keep you on the road so you can soak up all the summer fun. The road tunes.
Take me out to the ball game.
Hotel pools. Emergency ice cream stops. The sunscreen and bug spray everywhere. At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we're here for it all. So stop in for a quick oil change before you go. Only takes about 15 minutes. No appointment needed.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover's accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. From sold-out stadiums under Friday night lights to more than 100,000 screaming fans on the banks of the Olentangy. America's football capital is right here in Ohio. But the greatest football players and coaches of all time live up the road in Canton at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And a trip there should be on every football fan's list. Go to 971thefan.com/goldjacket and enter to win a VIP experience to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Ignite the passion. Relive the glory.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Right now,
Now get 50% off your windows. That's half off, plus no interest, no payments for 12 months, and a free entry door with your window purchase. Restrictions apply. Call 614-502-5220. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling. 1-800